Here to keep the chase going, share information, spread unity, preserve our heritage and our culture. We're trying to achieve something that you just can't catch. We're always trying to find a better way, trying to make better dogs. That's what Dixie Doggers Podcast is. That's who we are.
This episode is brought to you by Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company. Marc Rankin specializes in Brahma and Brahma Cross cattle in Oglethorpe County, Georgia. You can contact him at 407-832-2077. 407-832-2077. This episode is also brought to you by Phil Wilson of UC Hunting Properties. If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. You can contact him at 678-791-3483, 678-791-3483, or visit his website down below in the description.
Well, he's Michael Smith.
That's right.
Is that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that the right name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was making sure it was the right guy because, I mean, if the FBI asked me, I want to make sure.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's exactly. You didn't know what the fuck was happening, did you? Uh-huh. Gotcha. So how's everybody been doing?
Oh, man, deer season's here. I'm excited for it to end.
Yes. I can only imagine. What about you, Unc? What you been doing?
There's a season on deer?
Yeah, I believe it's salt, pepper, and a little Tony Sasseries.
Yeah, boy. Garlic powder. So what kind of powder you use deer? That's the garlic powder.
Yeah. That's what we had for supper a while ago. Little cube steak.
Hell yeah. I'm down here on a drilling rig in Baytown, Texas, not real far from Jake's house.
Can you see his head from there?
No, but that's the sun rises 15 minutes later if he's outside every morning.
We love you, Jake. We love you. God almighty. Yeah, so
Yeah.
How's that job going? You liking that one? Pretty good?
Oh, man, I don't like no kind of work, but I mean, it's the lesser of several evils that could be happening right now.
Right on. There you go. Keeping you out of trouble.
Hey, Nate, did you get that screenshot of that text I sent you?
Yes.
Reckon why she's still mad.
I don't know. I think she's peanut butter and jealous.
I don't know.
So I didn't hear about this. So what? Just let's fill us in on that. Me and Michael don't know what the fuck's going on, and this ain't right.
Well,
Tell us.
One time,
Oh shit.
this girl made me she said something, so I packed my bag and left. And she tried to say that I had put $30,000 in my cowboy hat, but that's not true. I made a war bonnet to play Big Chief out of $300 bills.
Oh,
So I made it out of $30,000. I had this war bonnet with two long tails in the back, but it wasn't a cowboy hat. I was playing Crazy Pony. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
But that's been like 2 or 3 years ago. But what I understand was it was my 30,000.
Yeah, what's that matter? That's right.
I mean, hell, it took me forever to get that check cashed. When I did, hell, I just,
Yeah.
He said, "Why do you do that?" I said, "That's how I dealt with the pain, baby. That's how."
Oh shit.
Everybody did pain in their own way. Me, I know how to kill it.
Yeah, just get it over with.
Hey, you know how to get over one?
Get under another one.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
I hear you. So man, I'm glad everything's going good. I'm glad everything's working out there on that rig for you.
Oh yeah.
I know. I bet you miss running them dogs every damn day, don't you?
Yeah, the dogs are still running.
Well, yeah. I meant watching them run. That's why I was fixing to correct myself.
Yeah.
It's like you ain't having to do shit. Oh, you mean you don't teach your dogs to hunt?
Man, look, I'm a dog trainer.
You don't train them how to run a track and how to tree, boy.
Hey, if I got to train that son bitch to hit the bushes my breeding program is not correct.
Something's happening, ain't it?
Hey, hey, Pat, I got one question for you before you get started.
Okay.
Where the hell do you get a hard hat to fit Daisy? Because I know she's up there with you.
Hey, look, Daisy's actually staying with Booger right now. I want to bring her, but we're not drilling an oil and gas well. We're drilling a storage facility for a major pipeline company in the refinery. So it's they quite the bitch over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no other way to say it, but I had to leave my little black girl at home.
Boy, I like her. That's about
My
one of
little
my
Indian.
favorites.
Yeah, my little Indian. You know, I got an Apache Indian hanging around right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only good thing about being bald, you ain't got to worry about being stout.
Yeah. If you can say that, you get you a good war bonnet going on, you'll be all right.
Yeah, her and Daisy gets along good, and they come see me. They come hang out about every weekend.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, you can't beat that. Ain't no doubt about
But
it.
I'm not working every day like I used to. I'm 14 and 14, so ain't too bad.
Hell yeah. All right, we've been doing all we can when we can. That's all we can do. That's about it for us. It really ain't.
Yeah.
We're accomplishing stuff slowly but surely, but it seems like as soon as we get one thing done, there's 900 more right in the fucking way.
One day at
Like
a time.
wiping your ass on a wagon wheel.
Yes, ain't no doubt
It just
about
don't
it.
stop. It just keeps rolling. Now, but I didn't take off for the rodeo finals. You know, we had some horses make the finals with Jay Bird, Bazeron Rodeo Company, and
Yeah.
that's coming this weekend at the state fair. That our number one hog baying announcer has won his 6th announcer of the year award, so he's ahead of Goose by 1.
Hell yeah.
And
Well, that's good. Congratulations to Jay Bird, man.
yeah.
He does it. He makes it. He damn sure makes the show interesting.
And one of our little younger guys we've watched grow up, Taylor Broussard from Egan, Louisiana, has made the NFR again.
Yeah.
So he'll be riding. So y'all watch for him.
All right.
In the bareback ride. He's hell of a little rider.
Taylor
Team
Broussard.
Yeah, team Stony Rock.
Yes, sir.
So that's how it's been going on with me.
I got you.
I run some deer when I wasn't supposed to, and I try to tell them dogs, some bitches won't listen, and then I treat some coons. Hey, did you see the video where I took a little boy on his first hunt, 11 years old?
Yes.
Boy, he was having him a time. He had me a little nervous. I mean, I let him bring his shotgun, but I had the shells in my pocket.
There you go.
He wasn't scared.
He ended up killing some stuff, huh?
He was not scared.
No, and he needs to be.
Yeah.
I gotta bring him. I gotta get me about 100-pound sow and let it roll him around a little bit.
Yep.
Get his mind right.
There you go.
He just never been, and he kept just trying to get in there. And I knew they didn't have nothing bad bait, or I wouldn't have. You know, you could tell. You know, it had done squealed a couple of times pretty loud and got away from them puppies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard you tell him. You said, "You better watch it, boy. That thing come out there." You know, he was just a looking. You know, hell, I mean,
Boy, you're trying to get him. He wants it now. When I get a kid coming around like that, and they want it that bad, now you got old Pat's full attention.
hell yeah.
You know.
You're gonna have to get him some dogs now.
Well, he's been trying to look over mine, you know, and I'm like, well, them's kind of mine, you know. But I think I got a puppy coming from Alex in Miami.
Yeah, I'm picking him up in a couple of days.
And Rodney Andrews has got some dogs bred, kind of like that puppy that Michael Smith got from me.
Yep.
Some of that some of that run anything shit.
Yep.
So I'll probably get him a couple of those. And
Hey, and we've got 2 litters on the ground. Or actually fixing to have the 3rd off of the M&M dog and off of Nathan's Louie dog. One's off of a female from Rodney Bell's, one of his dogs.
Yeah.
And Nathan's Kimmer, that Louie dog. Hell, Louie, he has become a man. I mean, and M&M, he's solid as a rock. We're going to have a couple. We're going to let a couple of them get out, a couple of pups, So if that youngin, if he needs him a pup by here in 5 or 6 weeks or a couple months, whatever, he's welcome to something that we got as well.
Hey,
it might not be worth it.
Yeah, I may get him one of them house cats from Michael.
Hey, y'all like that?
What is it? I didn't even see it. What the hell was it? But Pat was trying to tell me a while ago. I was like, what the hell happened?
These little bitches kill everything. So they kill a lot of snakes and frogs and all that. Well, I put a feeder in the backyard for my wife. She likes watching the squirrels. Well, that's out the window because these cats been murdering them.
Really?
And then they'll go get them out of the nest at night. Well, I had a guy come over and I had that Spectrum internet hooked up. And when he went under the house, when he got out, because I got, metal all the way around it, skirting and all that. And he said, man, there's a bunch of bones and squirrel tails under the house. And I said, really? Well, hell, they pull them up on the porch all the time because the cat's proud. They want to show you what they're doing.
That's right.
I come out in the backyard doing a little thinking, drinking like old Cane Creek does. And I looked over. I said, what the hell is that? And here come little Tomcat, had a full-grown cat squirrel in his mouth. I said, looky here. And then I tried to take it from him, and the little bastard was growling at me. It sounded like a panther going on over there. But I'm trying to promote them on Facebook, too, because I got a whole litter of damn kittens around here. Cats, all they breed like crazy. Mm-hmm. And I put them on there. These are not pets. These are working cats.
Hell yeah.
4L Kennel approved, baby. Let's go.
Hey, ain't one of them black?
Yeah, there's several of them. They're black and calico and mixed up. They scatterbred.
Hey, look, and when you get a picture of that black cat with a red bird in his mouth, send it to me.
Oh,
shit. Yeah, do that. Send it to him.
Come on.
Yeah.
I can see the editing in that motherfucker right there happening, baby.
Hey, I took a picture of that cat with that squirrel, and I sent it to my brother-in-law because they got some squirrel dogs. I said, fuck them cur dogs. I got some damn squirrel cats over here.
That's what I'm thinking right now, too. I was like, we got a little bit of rain this evening, finally. I mean, like, it's been 2.5 months since it's rained here. And I was sitting there thinking earlier, I was like, man, be a good day to go get in squirrel woods in the morning, leaves starting to fall off good, and that rain will have them knocked down. And now you're talking about these cats. Fuck, I ain't going to turn my damn cur dogs loose. Piss on that.
Well, I've never really done a whole lot of squirrel hunting with dogs, but everybody I've talked to said you don't want to take a good squirrel dog when the leaves are still on the trees because it kind of messes them up.
Well, it can. I mean, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna catch a lot of shit right now. Maybe they need a better fucking squirrel dog.
Oh, hallelujah, brother man.
Because I'm going to be honest, the first hunt last year, we knocked out 28 in 3 hours. Leaves full, and this is the first week of October. Bug went Sunday, and him and his little boy, 11 years old, they killed 17 or 18 in an afternoon hunt. So it ain't the dogs.
Hey, that's them little short timber sight dogs.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's the difference in a $400 squirrel dog and a $4,000 squirrel dog.
Hey,
come on.
You ain't getting $400 worth of shit on them squirrel dogs from here. I can promise you that. These some bitches right here are gonna load the gate every time. And I mean, there'll be a possum, there'll be a coon, a rattlesnake, there'll be something else in there with it. Hogs, whatever. But they damn sure gonna be some squirrels.
Speaking of squirrel dogs, I took that little 4L kennel dog I got from you, Pat, and I got a farm across the road, so I rode over there and I got some lanes, cut out and stuff, and I was just letting her run around and whatnot. Well, hell, there was a deer bedded up by a little feeder I got over there, and I was walking them pups down through that trail. Well, hell, they jumped that deer and they tore off his little cur dog I had in her. Well, I never heard them bark, and I heard shit tearing through the woods. What the hell? I turned around and they put a doe across the lane behind me. They run it for a while, and I let them go on, whatever, and I called them back because I didn't have no collars on them. Hell, still just young. I was just letting them stretch their legs. But I put her back on the dog box on my 4-wheeler, and I come in the yard, and a squirrel run across the yard, and I thought she was going to break her damn neck trying to get off the box.
Yeah.
I said, shit, she'll run anything.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. She's silent on the track.
Well, right here in the yard, she'll chase them other puppies and bark behind them and play with them and stuff. But when she run that deer, she didn't say a word.
Yeah, I was going to say, when she's running by herself, she'll be silent.
Yeah, that's that poaching series.
Yep.
Hey, I'm good with it. I don't mind a silent dog.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I'll feed them.
I mean, with the Garmins nowadays, hey, they don't got to bark no more.
No.
They
really don't.
Deer hunting with a Garmin has done made it so easy. Even them boys that used to couldn't kill them, they're still mad at me because I could kill them, before Garmin.
Yeah.
They can even kill them now.
Oh, shit. That's what I'm talking about. I think, when does deer season come in here, Nate? So when we can run dogs? Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah.
Or the weekend after Thanksgiving, I think it's when it kicks off here when we can run dogs. And I want to try to get
November 23rd.
So
Saturday.
any time after that, I've got 2 or 3 leases we can go. And so y'all going to have to load up and come up this way. I know you and Jake, y'all used to go out there and do that with Zach. So, I mean, but now it's been a couple of years since y'all got to go do that out. So y'all come over here. We start a new tradition.
How long does it last?
Shit, till January.
Well, good.
I think running dogs lasts till end of January or somewhere in there. 15th of January, maybe. I'll have to double check, make sure. But now regular deer season lasts till February the 10th.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that.
You can, if you want to still hunt and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't really get into all that unless it's going to be throwing rocks at it.
I always say I don't even hunt fucking Easter eggs without my dog.
That's right.
Yeah, I ain't finna mess with none of that. I mean, I'll still hunt. Like, I put that kid in the window at the house and tell him to watch the pasture.
Yeah.
If he sees something, let me know, and I'll give him the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
There you go.
That's the extent of my still hunting.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I got to a point now where, of course, all my kids are grown. So now my still hunting really is me standing over their shoulder at the house is like, when the fuck is that tenderloin going to be done? When? What time?
Yeah.
And that is literally that's all I'm doing. Actually, I skinned a deer the other day for Logan or Braden and them. The boys ain't never bow hunted in their life. They wound up getting some $2.50 used compound bows. They ain't worth the shit. Damn bent aluminum arrows, broadheads that don't work. And I think they wound up hitting the actual archery target one time out of 40 because that's the only fucking arrow they had left. And and them little fuckers, they struck out, and what was it, about 2 hours later he called. He's like, me and Nathan was tracking the deer. Hey, we killed one. I was like, well, y'all doing pretty good then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Nah.
I'd rather see them kids out there doing that than being on their damn phones or on,
Well,
in the house.
Well, that's the problem. They want to play them video games, and I told them they got them bows, and my boys have always been active, as far as hunting and stuff like that. Logan, though, him and Braden, they fell in love with it. They that's all they want to do is just stand out there and shoot, and I'm fine with it. Hell, let them do it.
Let them shoot.
Yeah.
Let them shoot a damn compound bow. That's what I told them. I said, y'all get y'all some recurves. I said, or long bows. I said, get you a good recurve. I said, it'll really, really change your mind.
Hey, I shoot a recurve, and I think I got like 68 Pope and Young deer and elk and this, that, and other with this recurve, and I shoot it pretty good. You see me shoot it. But anyway, so these compound guys, they get so mad. I really don't give a shit. I just like messing with people. I just look at their bow and I go, training wheels. Hey, That's worse than telling Randy Terrell Goose ain't a hog dog. Some of them son of bitches get mad.
They get fired up, don't they?
Well, see, Pat, you doing it all wrong.
I don't mind. I don't care what nobody
That's
does.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you doing it all wrong. What you got to do is just put them on the ground with that Magnum and just run up there and just stick them with the arrow. That's legal, ain't it?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that happening.
That's the most efficient way that I found, anyway.
I would have to ask a friend.
Yeah, so you got 36 grain VMAX. I seen that. I was watching that on YouTube.
I read about it in books.
Did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't read worth shit, so kind of.
But it had pictures in it, so.
Yeah.
Hey, I see talking about Jace the other day. That someone went to buy a hat and bought a 7 22/16.
Oh shit!
Hell,
Lord
you might
have
as well
mercy.
just put a brim on a 55-gallon drum.
Lord have mercy. That's because he's got all that knowledge in there. That's what it is.
Boy, hey, look. If you open his head up, it'd be a little bit of deer dying and a whole lot of hogs baying. Just like, his little brain just be working like dogs baying hogs.
Yep, that's right. Ain't no doubt. Hey, I got a couple of little yellow pups at the house. I got from that. He's a peddler, kind of old dog peddler out of Oklahoma. His name's Rusty Mayshore, and
I know that criminal.
you know him. That son of a gun.
Yeah.
Dude, I try to call that son of a bitch all the time, and he won't answer the phone. I'm talking about all the time. I can't never get him to answer the phone. But anyway, I got them little pups, and I showed him a pig. I was walking out there to the pen, and one of there's a little old potbelly mix kind of pig, and it was out of the pen, and I didn't even notice it. Well, hell, that little old female, hell, she's 30 yards over here in the woods. There, I got a bunch of it's like a damn place where we dump shingles and all that shit back on the property, Hell, she's down there barking. I said, what the fuck is she doing? Hell, I walked that, get to peeking in there. She's got a damn hog bait. I ain't never seen a pig.
Hello?
I ain't never seen a pig. I said, well, hell, we put her in there in the pen, and the little male dog, he got mad at him. That son of a bitch they went to hammer now. They did really good. And I was videoed it. So I was going to send it to Rusty, and I asked Nathan, I said, where do you think them puppies come from? Nathan said, hell, probably Randy Durrell. And I said, you know what? I said, as good as them some bitches are baying right now, I said, I bet you Randy wouldn't argue a damn bit with you. Randy'd be like, you tell them they come from me, damn it.
Is that some just yellow cur dogs, or is that some of that Keemer blood?
No, just some old mixed up yellow cur dogs from Rusty. I don't know what all they got. Rusty's got his own little recipe, but they're yellow with a black mask.
And they cast.
Jesus Christ! Look, we didn't leave them out a week at the house, was it?
Yeah,
about a week. Usually, we'll leave puppies running around for a month or whatever, month and a half. Shit, they didn't make it the first week. Them some bitches was 400 or 500. They was ready to go. And Rusty's the brothers and sisters, the litter mates to this one, to the ones I got, they was 3 miles up the road from Rusty's. Done been gone for a couple of days and cut all to hell. I mean, whatever he's doing, he's doing it right.
Yeah.
You can let them run loose like that. That's where it's at. I mean, them dogs they're gonna do it on their own if they got the ability. That's like Pat letting his dogs run loose like that. It's like where I'm at right now. I can't let them run loose too long. I got a couple properties I could, but here at the house, when they go to getting too far, I got neighbors with cows and stuff. I just go ahead and pin them up. But if you got a spot like Pat to let them run like that all the time, shit, you're miles ahead.
Oh man, man, how you train a dog? I get out of their way.
That's it.
That's the damn truth.
90% of it's a dog, 10% you, but you can fuck them up,
Yeah, I was going to say,
God.
yes, fucking them up is 90% you.
Yes,
Or
absolutely. Hey, how many times have you turned a dog loose and you see a track going this way and you turn him loose and he runs in there?
Oh, yeah.
And he comes out and goes the other way and you're going, you stupid son of a bitch, get back in there, and the hog's on the other side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, how many times? Oh, you can't count them that I've called the dog stupid and the dog been right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We did that shit the other day when we was tracking that deer. The guy told us, he said, I shot the deer. He went right through here. There was no blood or nothing, you know. He told me, and you could see the way the arrow, it broke off, but the broadhead was still in. So I said, well, there's not a good exit wound. You know, it just broke top half off the arrow. And hell, that old Louis at Kimmerker, he throwed his nose up. He goes the opposite fucking direction, 200 yards the other way, goes down there around the creek. And he made the loop and come back. And so that guy was like, well, I know the deer went this way. I said, well, we'll walk down that way. So we walked a little further. And I told, and you could tell the guy was you could tell he was a little frustrated. I said, well, you just got to trust the dog. I said, I promise you. I told Nate, I said, you and him walk back toward the shot site. And what I was going to do then was sneak down to the creek and see what the hell Louis was looking at, you know. Well, Louis goes back up there where they're at. So I walked on back up there, and all we did was go right where he was at, cross the creek, and the fucking deer was laying right on the other side of the creek. I mean, laying right completely opposite direction of where he thought he'd went. And that old boy, he was petting him up. Boy, he was hooping and hollering about Louis. He said, damn, that's a good dog. He said, he had me fooled. I said, listen, I said, that dog ain't fooling nobody. He knows his business and his job. I said, we like to think that we know what we're doing for the dog. I said, but we don't. I said, every time we reset him or we're going to try this or try that, all we're doing is messing him up. Just leave him alone.
Man, you know, the only thing ever gets in a dog's way is our ego.
Yep.
Hey, talking about blood trailing, I think Jaslyn, our pro staffer or whatever you want to call her.
Oh yes,
she's running 100%.
Really?
On yeah, and I know a bunch of them puppies she placed there, like with Thomas Eagle and all them boys.
Yeah.
They jerking the ass out of them wounded deer, man.
Hell yeah, that's good stuff. I'm glad we're running 100% this year, but I think we've only tracked 2, so that ain't too bad.
Well, that's 2 more than I wanted to track.
Yeah. Well, these when we got the call on these, they literally, way the crow fly, they was 5 miles from my house at the most.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, look, this is good just to get the dog some reps on it, you know. Hell, we carried him and blood trailed 2 deer. And then we went and ran a hog with him. I guess it was Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember, one of the days. It was the next day or the day after, like 2 days later, I think it was, after we found the deer with him. We went and jumped some hogs and ran them and caught a little old shoulder too. So
I got a quick little story that can help somebody.
Yes, sir.
Last night, yesterday, I get a message from Alex with thebestcamo.com down around Miami. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say his last name. You know how to say his last name?
Alex Quesadillas. I'm pretty
sure. Boy, they spelled like that.
I think that's what he told me. No,
anyway,
he said the way he said what he says on social media, that's not really his last name.
Right. That's why I was just, but anyway.
I didn't know that until me and him was talking one day.
Yeah. So he had a Jill that was having puppies, and she normally has 6 to 8. And she had 4. And she looked like she was still trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
He messaged me and said, what do you think? And so, being at work right now, this ain't in this plant, you know, you can't have your phone and all this bullshit. But anyway, I finally got back with him, and a few hours later, and he said, still looks the same. I said, if you love her and you want them puppies, you might want to call you a vet for an emergency C-section. He said, I already have, Hunk. He said, I figured that's what you was going to say. I just wanted a second opinion. And 30 minutes later, he had a healthy mama and 6 puppies instead of 4.
Hell yeah.
And they all still living. They all still doing good. So guys, if you see your Jill had puppies and she's still like stressed, like this Jill was almost going into seizures, like trying to push, shaking. He jerked her up and got an emergency C-section done and saved a good bitch and a good set of puppies.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, that's
Yeah,
don't let it go too long.
yeah, a lot of things as hog doggers, we all kind of, or the older class does,
Yep.
kind of glory ourselves and we don't never need a vet. We are the vet, and but sometimes you got to have a damn vet.
I agree.
You just suck it up and go on and pay the money, and you tend to a good dog.
Yep. There's been a few times I look back on it over the years, and I ask myself, I'm like, man, if I'd have went on to the vet right off the bat, could I have saved that dog? I know, or would they have been able to save it? I'd like to think I know enough, but I'm not a vet.
No.
And the reality of it, we talked to Dr. Rankin a couple weeks ago, and it's good to have a veterinarian like her on hand that we can call and ask questions, because she's married to a guy who runs hog dogs and she takes care of them. She knows what happens, and she's open-minded about it. And and that's a good thing, man, because for a long time we got to where we were really thin on veterinarians that were open to working dogs.
Well, everybody wants to groom them house cats. No offense to your yard cats there, Michael, but
man,
they want to groom them house cats and tend to these poodles and put smelly food. It ain't too much more like, half-ass dog men and vet mixed together. It just ain't there no more.
Yeah.
Like it used to be. Your old country vet is all but gone. But the most confusing part is just, why in the hell is Dr. Rankin with Napoleon Dynamite's Uncle Rico selling Tupperware?
Let me touch on that as far as talking about needing a vet and not needing a vet, because we see stuff all the time where you think, oh, that dog's gonna be all right. Well, I made a good boar hog. I mean, this son of a gun, he was a stud, and he run over my Willie dog, and I heard Willie squeal, but he ran him for another 3 hours. He went on to another piece of property I wasn't supposed to be on, so I sat there at the creek, and I waited on him for a while, and he quit barking, so I called him back. Well, it took him forever to get to me. When he got to me, he went to the water, and he drank forever, and I was like, what is wrong with my boy? I just knew something was wrong. When he come out of the water, he couldn't hardly walk. He just laid down when he got to me, and he was over a mile away from me. Anyway, when I get him to me, I see the blood on the back of his leg, and I laid him down on the tailgate and flipped him over, and it cut him all up in his groin and that holler spot right there in the back, right there in their flank. Well, I was like, damn, this is one of my best dogs. So my brother, his best friend was a vet, and he knows how to do all that stuff. So I called him at like 3 o'clock in the morning, go there. He looks at him. He said, well, it looks like he got lucky. Everything's going to be okay. Well, I couldn't get a hold of a vet that night. I said, hell, he'll be all right. So I gave him antibiotics and everything and cleaned everything out. Looked like he was fine. Well, about 3 or 4 days later, my brother come over and we're sitting there bullshitting. He's out there on the chain, and he said, hey, Willie just pissed out of his side, man.
Mm.
And I said, no. I said, he's good. Well, when we got to looking, what had happened was that cutter had just nicked his urethra.
Yeah.
So he was pissing out the side. So I had to bring him. I finally got a vet appointment, brought him down there. They had to do emergency surgery. They had to neuter him and reroute his urethra out the back. So now he ain't Willie, he's Wilma.
Oh, shit.
But it saved him. I mean, if he wouldn't have seen that, because I was out there, I knew he was using the bathroom and everything, but I didn't know. I just, working and coming home and all that, I just overlooked it, I guess. It's just something that simple. And this is probably the best dog on my yard. So, I mean, if I wouldn't have took him to the vet, he probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's sometimes, especially if it's a real good dog, it's better to be safe than sorry and just go ahead and bring him in there and let him check him out.
I think I probably know one person, and it's a female, and she comes from the game dog world. It's probably sharper than any vet I ever know. Anybody else above that one, you better just go and take them to the vet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we not God,
That's right. There ain't no doubt about it. And now there's times where you get in a situation and like Michael said, you check your dog over and you look at the dog and the dog is doing good. Doesn't seem like it's really bothered. And then all of a sudden it just goes downhill immediately, real quick.
Yeah.
I had that happen. And what had happened was it got a little poke up under its collar. And I mean, it never even really bled or nothing, not enough for us to notice it.
Yeah.
And it
got affected.
Yeah, it was about a week later. And I noticed that his bottom of his jaw right there was kind of puffed up. And I said, damn, what happened? I thought he got snake bit. Well, I got to feeling around on it, was damn old collared and got to cutting into him. So I pulled it off. I got to looking, there was a hole. And I was trying to think, I said, well, what could have happened? And then I was like, well, hell, the only thing that could have happened was the other night, and I just about lost the dog because of that,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, I was lucky enough. I caught it just in enough time. And me having enough people I can get on the phone with, knowing the right folks, and at the time had a country vet. I had a guy, Doc Tyree. I could call him and he'd tell you exactly what you needed. And I mean, he's not there anymore. Now, Dr. Martin, shit, he would be like, hey, come up here and get staple guns. He'd give me everything I needed, Of course, he wasn't supposed to. He's dead and gone now, so I can say that now. But you just don't have veterinarians like that anymore. So if you do have a situation and you run into something like that, don't think about trying to say, well, man, I'll take a day or two and see how he does. Look, just go ahead and get your son bitch to the vet, get it took care of.
Absolutely.
Get her knocked out.
I think so too.
It's so what, Pat, with a lot of this stuff that's that's going on with all the in different states. Like I was talking to a guy today and he was talking about the hogs, and he was like, where they live at, he was in California and they're on the big game species list and all that. Well, then they wound up taking them off. Well, here in Alabama, they recognized them as a game animal, but they're still a nuisance animal. Now, how does that make sense?
Well,
I don't
gonna say.
I'm just curious if you knew anything, if you had any kind of input on shit like that. I mean, I know a lot of it's just
No. I mean, I know some really smart people that's got a great deal of constitutional knowledge, and understanding of the Constitution, and the way them laws are written. They will not stand up in appeals court. They just won't, because a damn hog is feral.
Yes.
And that's all he'll ever be. But if you go by the definition of feral, once you put him in the trailer, he ain't feral no more. He is re-domesticated.
Okay.
But it's gonna take somebody with enough time and enough money to get one judge to rule in his favor.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to roll with that forever until they rewrite the language.
So that's what happened to us. What you just said, I couldn't get people to understand that. In the Game and Fish book 10 years ago, it said once feral swine is captured, it is reduced to domestic livestock.
That's right.
Once I caught it, it's my damn pig. It ain't feral no more.
Hello.
And they kept that like that until I think it was 2015. I want to say 2015 or somewhere in there when they changed all that shit. And it just blew me out of the water. And so I, just having points of view on stuff like that, you got a lot of people that don't know, you hear people say wild hogs. I mean, well, yeah, they live in the wild, but they all derive from domestic hogs.
Yes.
You know, in the history of them, right?
Yeah, the hogs came over. They say this and they say that, but the hogs landed in Mississippi, on the Mississippi River Delta with
DeSoto.
Hernando DeSoto and
Yeah.
them. That's right. But to say they were the only ones that landed with hogs would be ignoramus. I mean, it would be like, if they weren't the only boat that landed with some goddamn hogs, you know.
No. They
Your
said
settlers.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus was in. Christopher Columbus was the Caribbean islands, and then DeSoto was up to Mississippi in the southeast area, Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to fucking call it. And you know, like you said, he wasn't the only damn conquistador that showed up.
Right. But you know, here's where he missed it. He captured, I think it was 8 or 14 Choctaw Apache Indians, and held them hostage for the gold, like he had done to the Mayans.
Yep. But
instead of the Mayans gave him the gold, because he thought that these broke ass Apaches was they didn't have no damn gold. The old chief, I can't remember his name, he showed up. Not only did he kill the goddamn conquistadores, he killed the goddamn hostages too.
Yeah.
That way nobody would ever take another hostage thinking he was going to give them a goddamn thing.
Yeah, he put the smack down on the whole show, buddy.
He could have stopped it. And it ended that. 15 Apache Indians ended the conquistadores' conquest of conquering the world.
Yep. It did. That's right. And that, and that's going with the whole situation with the pigs and stuff. If the pigs were here when America was founded, how the fuck are they still invasive? Wouldn't we all be invasive?
I've been pretty.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been pretty invasive.
That's the part I don't understand. It's like there's got to be a point where it's like, okay, yeah, it's an invasive species. That's cool, whatever. But all these other states, like you've got, like, what is it, Missouri? Is that the one that's really cracking down right now? Where Oliver and them live at? Like you can't even hunt. You can't even hunt hogs.
Not on none of their public land.
No public. Yeah, you can't go hog hunting. But now they have USDA programs, and they're killing the hell out of them. And I'm like, dude, this just doesn't make any sense. It's like these hogs have been here longer than we have, or as long as we have.
Something I came up with about 15 years ago, and Ed Barnes kind of looked at me with a stank eye the first time, but he was thinking.
Yeah.
And next time I brought it up, he said, you're completely right. And it's not about the controlling the hogs. It's about controlling the people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how. Look, if they wouldn't have killed the buffalo, we'd all be speaking Hickory, Apache, and Lakota Sioux, and a lot of Comanche too. But that's the scorched earth technique the Romans used, and they just cut off the food supply.
Yeah.
And that's why it's starting up north, is because all you Yankees, y'all pussies. I ain't gonna lie, y'all pussies. The candy ass son of a bitches. They don't stand up for themselves, and they have no foresight. It's like they can't see something coming. I mean, I seen this coming with the hogs 20 years ago when the hogs first started running.
Yep.
I was like, y'all quit killing all these hogs, you punk ass bastards, just so you can throw him in the crossroads or take a picture and put it on Facebook.
And now they've made it to where we have to kill the fucking hogs legally.
Now you got it.
Yeah. Now they're controlling us to where we have to do it.
And it's about control. It ain't about the hog. Because like me and Nate done proved that the deer do 68% of the damage.
Yeah.
To the crops. but you don't see no goddamn genocide on deer. And it's because a full-grown whitetail buck's got 30 pounds of meat on him.
Yeah, no
And
shit.
it ain't even that good of meat.
We ate a full grown doe for supper
Right.
tonight. I'm serious.
You won't eat a full-grown sow for supper.
Shit,
Your
no.
damn blood pressure will go.
That's what, and that's
Hey,
the thing about it. Go ahead, Mike.
If you take say you take backstrap out of a hog and then you take backstrap out of a deer and you cook them at the same time, I will step over that deer meat to eat that pork every time.
Yeah.
And you see every time you turn the TV on, you see these commercials and stuff where there's people, hungry and ain't got nothing to eat and starving. But yet over here, we're killing the hell out of all these hogs because they're invasive and just leaving them to rot. You could take that meat and create a program and send that meat over there. If you're gonna kill them, use the meat and feed somebody. That's what pisses me off. Is they'll go out there and they'll just kill them and leave them laying. Well, hey, I like pork. Call me. I'll come get them. I'll bring them out live if you let me. But if you're gonna kill them, use the meat.
The public is misinformed. We're taught, like Pat was saying a while ago, we're taught these pigs are the fucking devil. They're doing all the damage, and they do damage. I mean, fucking raccoons do too. Everything does. But at the same time, they got all these diseases. I talked to Dr. Rankin the other night, and if y'all go back and listen to that podcast, the deer's the devil. The deer's the devil. They got all these diseases. They carry all this wild, crazy shit.
Pigs.
Yeah. So I mean, tell them, Pat.
Like I told them every one time, they said, "You'd rather have a hog than a deer." I said, "So, bitch, you ever tried to eat deer head cheese?"
Or deer cracklings? How come fat don't taste good off a deer? How come
you ain't getting no prickles off a deer, man?
No, that's what we can say. How come you can't eat deer fat?
Ain't none.
I mean, if you want to, you can try a little bit, but what's that tasso or tallow, whatever it is?
Poison.
I don't know.
Ooh, fuck all that.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't eat nothing. Got a little bit of fat on it. Come on.
Oh shit, yeah. But that's the thing about it is like this. That's something that's not really talked about that much is the actual hogs, the game that we're after, the misinformation that's put out all the time. Like you see all the people, like the trapping and thermal and stuff. Yeah, that's a method of control or whatever. But all it is, they're pushing it down your throat to say that, hey, the hogs are the only ones doing the damage. Like we've.
It's because they're scared to put their hands on them because the hog's not cute like a deer and it doesn't pose a threat.
Shit.
You could walk up to a deer and I mean I ain't saying you can just grab a buck by the horn and just do what you want to do with him, but they're scared of the damn hogs. That's why they're invasive. They're scared of them.
Yep.
Hey, but a deer, I'm gonna tell you now, a deer is a lot like a hog. You put a black-ass bulldog swinging on his ear, you can get him by the horns and do what you want. Ask him for a friend.
Oh, shit,
Put that equalizer on them.
You got to have that bulldog no matter what.
Yeah.
Hey, talk about another thing that cuts into it. Man, have you ever had fun at one of them deer extravaganzas? Or a deer
no.
show? I mean, that's the stuck up as bunch of son of a bitches you ever been around in your life. Every one of them walking around so tight if you hit them in the ass, they'd blow their boots off. I mean, golly, man.
You smack them on the ass and pop a soul. Oh, my God.
Hey, look, but you come to the hog bay, you'll hear more shit than the Japanese radio's playing.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's about control. Okay, so they don't sell a hog blind for $3,500.
No.
Who in the hell buys a deer stand for $35,000? Which I gave $65,000 for my deer stand. It's got an air conditioner, heater, and cruise control.
Come on.
That's the way to do it there.
But so getting to that, I mean, it boils down to control. They see you out there. Yeah, everybody thinks that, you can just put on a hog bay. Well, I think some people not long ago got an education on that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
It's
few more soon too.
yeah. You take like Hickory Crossing over there by y'all, they do good,
Yep.
and you got Loco and all them, and bad as I hate to say it, Jake, but let me tell you about Uncle Earl's. It's so much bigger. I'm already ordering the prizes. I ordered the dog show ribbons this week. SMK. Hey, you know SMK started in my Sportsman's the first year I had it, right?
Yeah.
Back off from 3 years ago.
Yep.
In May, they won more kennel points than any kennel ever has in history.
Hell yeah.
And the other day, in October Bay, they broke their own record.
Shit.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
And it's only been in it 2 years because I'm just now, I think this is our 4th year to have the coming around. But anyway, it's gonna be the 30th anniversary Uncle Earl, so I had to change all my designs to add 30th anniversary and all this shit.
Yep.
And I'm already doing that because the ribbon lady, now, you know me, I'm the master of procrastination. The ribbon lady contacted me and said, hey, look, I'm tired of messing with you and your last minute orders. You know you don't have my girl. Know it's coming. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So so that I'm not ahead because I'm a good guy. I'm ahead because I deal with good people.
That's right.
So you take Donnie Bergman, SMK. He started in the Sportsman's. He's very grateful for getting that start in something he now loves, and he's winning all kinds of stuff. So he's going to help me sponsor the Sportsman's this year. So hats off to Donnie for stepping up to that.
Hell yeah.
What else I wanted to say?
That's good too, because I mean, like, once he got, you know, him and Johnny got to partnering in and running dogs together a lot. They just really clicked together good. And the dogs work together good, and they're both good guys, and they get busy.
Yeah, I always said Johnny had one of the best breeding programs, some of the best dogs in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, Gomer's kind of like me, though.
Yeah.
He got down now about that third look. He's going to taste that son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's
part of look.
Yeah, I love Gomer. Since the first time I watched him bay, I was like, and I said it when the last one we done a little check in with Jake not long ago, right before the last bay, and that's what he was asking, you know, who was I looking at, and that's what I told him. I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, you know, SMK kid, that's who I'm pulling for. Kind of just, I've seen how far they've come along in the past year. Like they're putting in the fucking time, the effort, and the money. That's what it takes to be a competitor. Whether you're doing it in the competition side or you're doing it in the hunting side, you know as well as I do, it costs. You're gonna have to put your fucking time in and spend all your money to have a good kennel, whether it's hunting dogs, competition dogs, or whatever.
You know, somebody said, "Well, do you think so and so's a dog man?" I said, "Fuck no, he's still married to the same woman."
Yeah, exactly.
Think about that for a minute.
No,
if a man ain't lost at least one wife and 7-8 girlfriends since the dawn of time, it'd be hard pressed for me to believe he's a dog man.
Yep. It takes a different kind of person for the most part. There ain't no doubt.
Now there is exception to the rules, like Mr. Lonnie Ray and Miss Teresa and them.
Yep.
I mean, and it's only because she's probably more knowledgeable than he is.
Yeah. And you know that's.
Don't tell him I said that.
I was going to say I'm not.
That. I'll tell him I said it.
Listen, I ain't gonna say nothing to neither one of them.
But it's a few cases out there like that, you know, where it's a team effort.
Well, there's certain cases where the sometimes the wife is more, it does more handling and does more competing or hunts more than the husband does. You know, there's not a lot of cases, but I mean, you see it from here and there.
I mean, we got some outstanding women on our little crew right here.
Oh, hell
Jen
yeah.
and Jaslyn, and hell, there's 4 or 5 more there. I can't think of their names right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
Hell, I just sooner know the woods with them than anybody.
Oh,
you know,
hands down. When we went down there and hunted with Logan Campbell, I told him after that first day, Chance's woman, Mullane. I told him, I said, I'll take her over all these guys all day long. She'll grab that foxhound or that walker dog and throw that son of a bitch in the box head first, and he better get ahead when she gets him out.
Hey, you remember when I was picking a Chance, I said, you better marry that woman because I might.
Yes, sir.
But I was just picking. Yeah. I was just picking, but she is top notch with her little brindle dog, and that's just the way it is, you know.
Yep, she's a good hand. There ain't no doubt. We had a good time with her. There's, like I said, there's several women that, and I don't know what the deal is, man, with some of these other guys that are, they do the same things like we do, but they don't never even talk about a woman. Never.
Yeah, I know.
They never do. It's like, I don't know if I don't think they're misogynist or nothing like that, but they just might not know the right women. I don't know.
Hey, did you ever see my second wife? You didn't, did you?
I don't think I did.
Boy, she looked just like Britney Spears, except the body and the face.
just like her.
I mean, she was blue-eyed and blonde-headed, but other than that, it was much.
Shit. Oh, my God. No, I never seen that one. So how many wives have you had, Pat? The world wants to know.
How many do I have right now?
No, how many have you had, damn it? I'm talking about in the course of your lifetime.
Well, I'm working on getting rid of number 3.
Plaintiff number 3.
I really didn't think I was married to her because I knew Jaybird had never signed the marriage license when he married her.
Yeah.
But that sneaky she done went on and forged his name to it. So 3 weeks ago, I found out that I really did got to get a divorce.
Oh, hell.
So number 4 is doing the divorce for me.
Well, I mean, that's, at least, hey, that way there's never, she knows the full scale of it from the get-go.
If she don't, hey, look, at this point, I'm not responsible for anything. Come on. At this point, if you don't know me by now, you know those songs says, if you don't know me by now?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know you by now, there's something bad wrong with them, ain't it?
Bad wrong.
Oh. Hey, what y'all think about that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
There is some good women in this world.
Yeah.
And some knowledgeable, yeah.
Without a doubt. I've talked to quite a few of them here lately. Ones we've had on our stuff here they have, honestly, I've actually sat back and I'm like, dang, they know a lot more than I know. Like, shit.
Hey, and it's because their ego don't get in the way, and
yep.
They got that emotional perspective.
Yeah.
And they gonna see things that we miss. They just gonna do it.
Yep. I agree. There's times where, I've talked to some of them and here's what I ask a lot of them. I'm like, do y'all think we're ready for a woman president? And you know what they say? I say, hell no. And it kind of surprised me the first time. I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, women make decisions on emotion. She said,
that's right.
And those kind of decisions, they don't need to be made on emotion. I said, God dang. I said, now we talking. That's the kind of input I like to hear from somebody. It's like, hell, that's just called realism. That's being realistic.
I think a lot of it too is they got patience too, because like my 2 best dogs right now, if it wasn't for my wife, I'd have killed them.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're frustrated, just calm down and just wait, try them one more time, because that emotion comes in, because she likes them, she feeds them, and gets out there, and we raise them from puppies because I raise all my dogs that I hunt. And she's like, look, don't make no rash decision while you're angry. Just give it a minute and think about it. And I'm glad I did because I wouldn't have shit if it wasn't for her, probably.
Well, I understand. I used to be real quick on the cull button myself, but I've over the years I've got a lot more patience. I guess you'd say patience. I don't know. Maybe I've just grown up a little more, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know. The dog will tell me what it wants to do. I just watch him.
Right.
That's where I was going with that. I'm a lot quicker on the cull button on women than I am dogs. And most of the dogs I got are somebody else's cull. And man, I'm so patient with that. So this woman I got there, she's like, won't you just do like the dog, and just be as patient with me as you do the dog? Well, so far that's worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it ain't a bad thing, is it?
But she don't cast very far.
That's what I was going to say. Tell her get ahead now.
When I told her to get ahead, took it a whole nother level.
I was going to say, you better watch that shit. Lord have mercy, y'all. Ain't something wrong with y'all. Hey, the other day I seen on the World Wide Web of social media, Facebook, the world famous Ed Barnes, or it might have been Instagram or some shit. He made a comment on there about not being any hog men, or not being very many hog men left in the world. But he said there's a lot of dog men out there now. He said, but there's not very many hog men.
That's a fact.
Did you see? Okay, I was just wondering if y'all seen it. I seen it. Nate actually told me about it, and then I've limited myself to where I don't get on Facebook but once a week. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks. I just try to kind of stay away from a lot of the bullshit on there. But I got to reading that, and as soon as I read it, I was like, dude, he's dead on with that. And I was just reading the comments on there, and so many people, they took that shit. That ain't even what he said. Like they were all bent out of shape. Pat, tell our listeners what Ed was talking about and what a hog man is. Not a dog man, but a hog man.
Well, back in about 2015, I wrote an article, and you can get this from Ed because he still publishes it every now and again in the newer magazines. It's called "No Hogs Left to Kill." What are we going to do? I mean, everybody wants to breed and raise the ultimate dogs. Who's breeding the hogs?
Mm-hmm.
Who's making sure we got hogs to hunt? Who's tending the herd?
Yep.
And who's going to, like George Jones said, who's going to fill our shoes?
Mm-hmm.
You know why I pay hogs all the time?
Because you got
I don't
hogs.
shoot hogs all the time.
That's right, because you got hogs, yeah.
I try to manage the herd accordingly. And it's no different than deer. People shoot so many does, and they let the bucks mature, then they shoot them because they want trophy bucks. Well, me, I want a lot of hogs. So I shoot all the bucks and I let all the goddamn does go,
Yeah, there you go.
Because I like numbers. I ain't really worried about a trophy, because every hog will be a trophy once he gets over 160 pounds, 70 pounds. He'll be a stud. He's just a 100% chance.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to worry about his genetics on growing something that's going to fucking fall off in another month.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this, talking about that, Pat. So what we do is if I catch a boar hog and he's black and he's got a long snout and he's got a short rear end and all that, I'll bar him. But if I catch a hog that's got a short snout and he's just as wide in his ass as he is in his front, or if he's got any color to him, he's going to be turned back loose. Because I want them good-blooded hogs in there breeding.
Don't say that on here.
Hey, I'm on private property. It's fenced in, high fence over here.
Oh, you in that high fence?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
that
in that
guy's
legal
probably
high
my
fence.
mama's mama's. I know you talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on my property. I ain't in no club or nothing.
Right.
But I mean, that goes back to managing the herd. If you go to just getting rid of all of them, and like I ain't got it in me. I won't hardly even bring one out of the woods. Every now and then I'll bring a bar out, make some sausage or something. But for the most part, let them be.
Yeah.
Them old rangy looking hogs, like you talking about, that's the ones that run.
Yeah, that's ones need them nuts cut and get them out of there.
Now you talking about something hard to do though. What you just described, that was pretty much our life for the first, I don't know how many years that I started hog hunting, and then like I said, they took it away. We couldn't have a live hog, and so dude, it was heartbreaking.
You don't have to break no laws to manage hogs.
No, you can have a cur dog named Eminem and Louie, and you can say, let out of him, let's go to the house, and they'll get their ass in that truck, and that boar hog will go on.
That's right.
So there's ways to do it.
When I was a kid, this is how we did it. We bait them up and looked at them.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly all sounders of 5 to 35, probably or more. I don't know. And you call the dogs off and throw them some corn and got them on sounds and go to eat.
Yeah.
But we bait them all. We bait them every fucking day. I mean, we knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you had good dogs. I mean, the dogs were top-notch dogs.
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to start a pup now than it was then?
Hell yeah.
Okay. And
hey, look, we used to do it. Man, you could take any goddamn old dog and buy a hog back in the day.
Yep.
Nowadays, I'm thousands of dollars in and using words like heterozygous, trying to get this shit done. I mean, it's just goddamn, my brain smell like a clutch smoking.
I know exactly what you say, though.
But everybody's old yard dog used to buy a damn hog.
Yep. Hell, we had damn old Lab, that son bitch. She was out there in the yard one day, and I had about 20 head at the time. And she was just a pet, But hell, Nathan and them would take her down there. They was little. Hell, he was probably 10 years old, 10, 12 years old. Shit, that dog would stay down there and bay all damn day. She'd cut one out for you if we needed to cut one or whatever, And I miss that shit so much. It's really hard for some of the newcomers to the hog dog hunting world to really understand what that even means. Because like I said, we're so misinformed by the hunting channel or by YouTube or by social media. Every fucking hog's got to be killed. It sucks.
This may be a shock to some of y'all that still watch the hunt channel, but it's nothing but a 24/7 infomercial.
Yes.
If they are trying to sell you something, I ain't saying Michael Waddell can't kill a deer on public land. I'm saying I have never seen him kill one on public land.
Yep.
I ain't saying he's a bad guy because he has some pretty good ideas.
Yeah.
But goddamn, if an old lady says hang your stand right here, those stickers come by about 4:30 every evening. I mean, I'm going to talk to that old lady. Fuck Waddell.
Yeah.
He ain't no pro. He's the pro.
That's exactly right. There ain't no doubt about it.
Let me ask y'all this.
Uh-oh.
Y'all been doing this for a while. When's the last time you bait a sounder? Used to you go bait a sounder anytime you wanted to. Nowadays, so many people. I don't know if it's so many people hunting or what, but you don't see as many sounders bait as
that's
you used
what I was
to.
going to say. Where you're at, I could definitely see where that's an issue. Where we're at, you remember what I said a while ago about calling them dogs out?
Yeah.
All right. So what we did, Michael, we went from I had for almost 10 years just the hardest, roughest fucking pack of dogs you could imagine. I mean, heavy bulldog, heavy game dog, everything, crossed with greyhounds, fucking stag hounds, crossed with cur dogs, crossed with bird dogs. It didn't matter. They were alligators. I got away from that.
Sounder with that.
Yeah, exactly. Now I killed a whole sounder. They'll relay, and I'd have 5 of them at a time. But I got, like you said, who's taking care of the hogs? That's what it went to. It went to the point where Nate's sitting right here with me. He'll tell you there was a point in time where we could leave the house at daylight at this time of year, about 6:15, 6:30, or get to the place where he's going to hunt at daylight, turn loose and be back home before the coffee pot ever cut off from the morning's coffee. Done had a good one caught or tied up. I mean, a nice one. And then it got to where we were going and hunt for 2 or 3 hours and we were chasing fucking hogs. And then we catch one about 60 pounds or 100 pounds. It just got where it was ridiculous. So we had to change everything. And in the past 5 years, we've changed. Well, it's been about 6, 7 years now. We've transitioned back to where we still have a few rough dogs if we need them, but we got some looser bay dogs that'll stand back. And it looks like you're baying cows. I'll be honest with you.
Louis bays multiple pigs better than he does one pig because he just like loop bays.
Yeah,
he just herds them.
He runs like a cow dog. You know what I'm talking about, Pat? When they just circle, they'll stay back 10 foot and just make a big circle.
And he'll be yipping.
Yep. And no pressure, no fucking pressure.
If one comes out, he's nailing them.
Yep.
One better not get in his line of sight because he's going to drive him back.
So that's
hard.
And what we also did was took every damn dime that I had for the past 4 or 5 years, and we got our own little private spot. And if the hogs get to one certain area, we'll catch them, and we might have to kill a few of them. But if they're on our private spot that we got there, we don't really hardly even hunt it until deer season.
Yeah.
When deer season comes in, that's where we take our dogs. So they've got all year to do their thing, to breed, to do whatever. And that's how we start our pups and our young dogs. And we got a bunch of sounders.
That Sally dog of Rodney's, isn't that dog half Parker?
Yeah, she's Parker. Got a little bit of bird dog and a little bit of bulldog.
Well, check this out. I've been talking to Mr. Larry Parker, and he got kind of down in his health there for a little while, and he hasn't been able to hunt as much, and now he's building a house, so he don't have any pups available at this time, but I've been staying in contact with him because I remember me and you talked about it before. I was going to try to get with him and try to get some pups off of him, but he's going to get situated in his new house and all that, and he's down to a few dogs himself, but I was going to try to get some from him and see if I can infuse some of that with some of my blood and see what happens.
If you want some Parker dogs, call Dustin Reeves because he pretty much bought everything of several years ago.
From Barry, wouldn't it? He bought it from Barry.
Yeah, he bought all that Parker stuff from Mr. Parker and everything.
Okay.
But then he ran across some July crosses. And now he's breeding those to the July crosses.
And that's that really works.
They catching some hogs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that'll put some speed and grit. Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't Cody Jeffcoat's got some Parker stuff too?
He might have. It probably came from Dustin. I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like he told me he had a Parker female or something. I can't remember. I didn't know if you might know or not, though, Pat. But yeah,
he might. I've been back working, and believe it or not, I've been chasing a few women. So,
no, say it ain't so.
The rut's in.
Believe it or not. Hey, let me tell you what I'm thinking about it. I preached my first wedding.
Oh yeah.
A couple weekends ago. Yeah, it was supposed to be like 20 or 30 people there, and it was about 20 or 30
Shit.
But I only messed up one time, and they didn't even really notice it. I don't. Well, if they did, they didn't bitch.
Yeah.
But went really fast. And I got them to drinking and partying, and it got all right.
There you go. You say got them saved.
So anybody wants to get married at the Hog Bay, give me a holler, and I'll get Joey to be the best man, and
that's right.
We get Jay Bird to. Me or Jay Bird can marry you in the state of Texas or Louisiana.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell, I might get married again to my woman.
Hey, bring her over and I'll renew y'all's vow.
Dude, I ain't getting in all that shit. Then you know what she's going to want to do on our renew vow night? God
Yeah,
damn.
honeymoon.
I know. That's what I'm saying, Pat. It's a rough damn deal, son. It's hard on me. I've done got 7, 8 kids. Hell, I'm fixing to have another grandkid in just a few months. God damn. I'm just pumped out. I'm fucked out. I'm sorry.
I thought you was gonna have some more nieces and nephews there for a little bit.
I thought I was too. I put me a fucking game camera up there where I could catch your ass.
Oh boy, you ought to know by now I can beat that son of a bitch.
Hey, Pat me back there with a fucking thermal looking for that little red dot out there in the middle of it. He's like, yeah, there's a game camera right there.
Hey, I had my thermal in my bag, you know, on the side of the side. The guy said, "What'd you bring that damn thing for?" I thought to myself, well, I don't want to ride with you nowhere. You just sure as hell gonna get us caught. He never understood outside of the game cameras with this son of a bitch.
Hell yeah, you better be watching it. Oh Lord have mercy.
Hey, if son of a bitch creep, hey, oh, you know that son of a bitch movie, The Predator?
Yeah.
We killed 3 of them son of a bitches before the movie ever come out.
Oh Lord have mercy.
If Schwarzenegger would have had a good July cross and a goddamn 42-pound game dog, the movie would have lasted 6 minutes.
You damn right. Tell him about it. Tell him. All you need is a good damn game dog. That's right.
A good game dog. Speaking of good game dog, and Dustin Reeves, you remember Coco? I was leading around in Uncle Earl.
Yep.
And he hit the concrete pig, broke the ear off, got me in trouble anyway.
Yes.
I think they done found like 8 or 10 deer with that son of a bitch.
Really?
They used him for a blood dog.
Well, you can't beat that.
Man, he's brindle. And he's brindle and good looking. I think I know how he's bred. One dog right over the back of the two-time champion, top bottom, all the way, son.
Oh shit. That's what I'm talking about. Man,
that damn cat.
Anybody listening to this, if y'all want to hear some game dog history, let me know. And maybe I can get some 75.
I've got a request for some already. So we need to get that moving.
So, because I mean, it's going to take some doing because these guys,
they tight mouth.
Man, they'll sit there and talk to me all day.
Yep.
I got one. I want him to tell a story about getting shot at 100-some times in Illinois.
Yeah.
And having to drive home without a windshield all the way back to Louisiana. I want him to tell that story right there.
Hell yeah. You know, shit like that. That's what we still need to produce is our history. Like we're talking about the hogs, though, those game dogs are just as important, if you know, to the hog hunting world, because you got all these guys now that, well, I want some of that game blood, or I want a good game dog. Well, they really don't even know what one is if they're less than our age much. You know what I mean? If they're 10 years younger than us, then now there are exceptions, no doubt. There are a few boys out there that know what the deal is, but in the general populace, most of them have never seen one come across a line. They wouldn't know when to call a turn, and they wouldn't know whether I'm washing my own dog or they're washing my dog. They don't know none of that.
I have a game dog testimony for you guys. Do not get one off of Facebook. hey, this old boy. Hey, look. I was hard. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
I was hard up needing a catch dog, right? Yeah. So I talked to this guy, and he's like, "Oh man, I got this game dog over here." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So I go get it, and then like 2 weekends later, my buddies, you know, we all try to go hunting or whatever. Well, all our bulldogs were cut up and whatnot. One of them got her teeth knocked out. Anyway, well, I bring this game dog, and I done caught one about a 150-pound boar with him. I said, hell, maybe he'll be okay. Well, we bait a bar in a stump hole. He weighed 317 pounds. I wrote a story about it and put it in Tuskers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the name of that story is a 317 bar and a junkie bulldog.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, they bait up behind this stump, and I can't see the hog. And we run in there, and my Willie dog that got cut up, I was telling you about earlier, I tied him out at the road to a tree, you know, so he wouldn't jump off the box, hang himself, whatever. Well, I get out there, and I got this dog, and I'm thinking, you know, my buddy, when we pulled up, he said, that's all we got. And I was like, oh, he'll be all right. You know, I already caught a hog with him. I turn this son of a bitch loose, and I run around the backside of this stump. and the bulldog goes over the top of my head.
Oh shit!
The hog threw him out. This son of a bitch went and got back on the 4-wheeler.
I don't blame him.
And I'm talking about on the 4-wheeler. We're sitting there and we're watching this band going on, and we're like, what are we gonna do? Well, I grab him off 4-wheeler, I bring him back in there. The hog's in the creek. I turned him loose. This son of a bitch swam out there about halfway. When that hog turned and looked at him, he turned around and swam back to the bank, went and got back on the 4-wheeler.
Shit, he's smart. He's like, fuck this. That son gets
So
hurt.
I'm sitting there going, what are we going to do? My brother said, hey, I got a lariat rope on the buggy. I'll go get it. Well, about that time, my buddy that was with us, he went to hollering, so we run down there, and he had the hog caught in the creek. I'm thinking, what the hell? We get the hog, jerked it out of the water, and get him thrown down, tied up and everything. And I'm like, how'd you catch him? He said, that brindle dog caught him. I went to look around. I said, brindle dog, hell. I said, I got the only brindle dog. He's tied up at the road. He spun around on that lead and come unsnapped. And he said when he come off that creek bank, he never barked. He jumped in there and swallowed that hog. He was so damn wound up. If we caught that son of a bitch with a hound cur cross, bulldog's on the 4-wheeler shaking.
Yeah, that ain't no bulldog.
So if you looking for a game bred dog, do not buy one off Facebook. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, let me tell you something else. Don't get on Facebook. A wife. That son of a bitch will quit you too.
That ain't no lie.
Hey, that's quitting son of a bitch. My third wife quit me and Uncle Earl. He said, this is a true story, y'all. Believe this shit or not. He said, if you go to Uncle Earl's, I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
Bye.
I guess she wasn't bullshitting. I hadn't really talked to her since to see if she's really gone. But
Yeah.
she ain't been there since Uncle Earl.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to you that night, and I was like, damn. I said, hell, I think he's for real. He's like, hell, I guess I'm divorced now. I was like, shit. He was like, well, Pat told me, he said, well, fuck it. He said, if she's there, she's there. If she ain't, she ain't.
Well,
she ain't.
Pat, she didn't scratch, did she?
Now somebody swing out on the 4-wheeler.
She went got back on that 4-wheeler. She swam back across that ditch, said, fuck this, I ain't doing this. That's something wrong with that fella.
Hey, I was trying to make a cool video on Facebook, too. I had to edit the part out. I had to stop the video before the bulldog went. So, look.
You should have put that in there. Because then, you know what I'm saying? Then people would have, they'd been like, well, you'd be surprised how many people would have been like, I done that, too.
Oh, yeah.
We've all had shit happen.
Yeah, see, but Boars N Broads inspired me to tell these stories like this because nobody ever wants to talk about the shit that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. It's a learning experience,
Hey, that's why I called Uncle Pat. Nobody called.
Yeah.
Because everybody but they'll message me on the flip. Hey, what about this? What about that? It's because they don't want to. It's like an ego thing.
Yeah,
Here, man.
They don't want nobody to know that they're asking something.
Hey, look. So here's what we finna do. We're finna start prank. We're gonna call these motherfuckers and ask them something.
Yeah, we'll fucking start calling. You damn right. That's what we'll do.
Make the hell out of y'all. So if y'all don't want to get called and put on the spot, you better start calling in.
You better be acting right. Because, like I said, we start doing this shit because it's what y'all want to do. Y'all better act right. If not, we're going to have to be on damn Facebook Live on Tuesday nights because Ed and Chris and them, they do it on Mondays, I think, or whatever night. We can't.
No, it's on Tuesday nights at 7. I've been getting on there and messaging on my.
We'll have to do it on Wednesday night then. I can't do it on the same night. Hey, they invited us to get on. We got on there. We had a good time, man. That was a good deal. That was pretty. It turned out pretty damn good.
I like getting on there and stirring up people. They go to talking about certain, I was messing with Mr. Plumber about his Catahoulas, and me and him talked offline about it, but I just like getting a conversation started on there. And Ed asked me if I'd call in or whatever. I might do that one day, just kind of bullshit with him.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
But that
oh yeah,
this is how everything works. So my Facebook wife, I lost her. So the next weekend, me and Jake's over there. And my God, man, it's 2 days of disassembling them back pins, and everything's got to be stacked just right. We have to take pictures of it because they'll come in and use the arena behind us and say, oh, that must be them hog baying people.
Yeah.
Well, we done caught on to that shit. So Jake makes a video with all the arena in the background, talking about what a success, the biggest show. I think it's 700 runs, whatever, I don't know. And he said, you want to add anything? I said, yeah, I'm single. Before I got out of Winfield that day, guess what? I
Uh-huh.
wasn't single no more. I wasn't single no more.
That's what happens.
Hey.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Hey, man, look, you got to speak up, people. I wasn't ashamed to say I got left. I got purely abandoned. But I didn't go over in the corner and cry like some little bitch. I rejoiced.
He didn't go to the fucking four-wheeler.
Hell no, they go over there. I scratched. First opportunity, babe.
That's exactly right.
I ain't got no quit in me, partner. There's nobody going to dictate my destiny.
Amen. Amen. And that's the thing about it. All you got to do is make it. You just got to go. If you want to do something in life, and I'll say this from being one of the most brokest, poorest son of a bitches that anybody knows. There was a time where I did have a few dollars in my pocket here and there. But in the past couple of years doing all this, and I'm having to put everything into what I'm doing, I don't know that I've ever been happier. And I look forward to getting up and fighting with this shit every day, because I'm like, damn, I know we got to do this, this, and this. Long days, long hours, early days. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 days straight, no sleep. I mean, if I gotta keep rolling, I just grab that bottle and keep rolling. You know, but
that's all you can do.
I'm the one
keep going.
That's right. But we're the ones that's driving this fucking train. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna let nobody dictate shit for me.
And you ain't gonna hear me.
You can't make everybody happy. You just got to be yourself.
No,
and that's why I love listening to y'all's podcast. I listen to it. I drive an hour and a half to work every day, and I listen to y'all's podcast. I look forward to it every time because it's raw. Y'all ain't trying to please everybody. You're being yourself and just it's being real,
doing.
You know.
We don't even know what the fuck we're doing half the time, but we're doing it.
Hey, it's entertaining. I give it that.
And that we had I had a message. I shared it earlier on Facebook. A guy told me, he said, "Hey guys," or he messaged us and said, "Hey, I've got a big problem with the podcast." He said, "The problem is I can't fucking stop listening to it." He said, that's all I do." He said, I thought it was just going to be a lot of bullshit and a lot of talking. He said, but every episode, he said, there's knowledge in it. There's useful information. He said, but it comes in the form of entertainment. And that's really what we're doing here, is having fun. We're talking to our buddies and like, I mean, fuck, I didn't know you. This is how me and you started talking right here. You know,
yeah. And hats off to Nate too, because I'll get up in the morning and I leave my house at 4:00.
Oh, it's on.
And I'll look and if it ain't on there, it'll be on there on the way. And he's getting up early and knocking that stuff out, editing or whatever, you know, and putting it on. So I mean, I know he don't say a lot when he's on here, but Nate, I know I really appreciate you putting in the work, because it's kind of like my therapy when I'm driving to work listening to this, because it's real raw knowledge and stories and just entertainment that we can all relate to, and we need that. I mean, it's blue collar entertainment. There ain't no other way to put it. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, Michael, man, I appreciate you. Still happy with the dog you got from me?
Man, I'm just waiting for deer season to be over so I can put her in the damn woods. I've been messing with her over here at the house, and I'm not trying to make a deer dog out of her, but it wouldn't take much.
Oh, that's everything I got.
That comes with the package. That's 4L certified.
Hey, but you know, she ain't as feral as the rest of them though. She's a little sweetheart sometimes. You know, she'll come back and she'll come up there and actually she'll get in my lap sometimes on the porch, and I'll tell her to get down and make her go on, you know, and she'll go out there fooling around. But she'll come to me. She's real mannered, and I said, damn, because when she was a puppy, she wasn't like that, but. No. Since I, put her up, I spent a lot of time with her, though. I said, hell, I want to be able to catch this little fool when I turn her loose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when she gets on something, there ain't no getting her back. But she's, I think she's going to be all right. I ain't worried about that one.
What about a stranger come up?
I don't really have too many strangers come up, but like a strange dog or something like that, she definitely lets you know if it's her territory. She's like, hey, don't come over here, you know, and she'll be all right, though.
Yeah, she should throw down for no reason at all.
Yeah.
But as far as people, though, I mean, the only person I'm ever really around with her is like my brother and my kids. So, you know, she's used to them. But as far as strangers, she ain't really had encounter that yet. I guess we'll find out next year.
Yeah, so this Apache Indian, while you got you on the phone, I got some puppies in the yard, and I went out there the first time she come to the house, and I got her out the car, and I kind of got on her ass pretty heavy. Well, second time she come over, I just raised the window and just looked out, and I was seeing what I was dealing with, you know. These dogs are telling every one of them run up and love dog. I could have shot them some.
Oh yeah. They told the tale then, didn't they?
Yeah, that told me right there I might have a pretty good one because that's the first time they ever did that.
Yeah. She might be. She knows a little bit about them dogs too, don't she?
Yeah, she's from Zawali, raised in the goddamn big woods over there, just like I was. So she knows about a dog.
Hell yeah. Well, we're gonna have, like I said, we got all these damn puppies ourselves, and we don't do we don't breed many dogs. Generally, we only done these because
I'm hoping this is the last breeding for the next couple of years.
Yeah. And
breedings.
So I'm probably going, because I'm gonna have to bring I'm gonna have to get that little cur from Alex, the one he sent you and Jake. I'm gonna pick it up at Hickory Crossings. Hey, Scott Lanier went down there, drove all the way to Miami and picked them puppies up for us.
Damn right.
He did. That's telling you, that sumbitch right there. That's the goodest sumbitch you ever seen in your life.
Hey, you talking about a good sumbitch? Connor Anderson's messaging me.
Oh yeah.
He needs your number.
Okay.
You got his number?
I don't know. I'll look and see.
I'm not trying to cut Michael off, but I know he wants to call in.
Oh, okay. What? Yeah.
No, that's fine. We've been on here for a while. I appreciate y'all's time.
Yeah, give him my number right quick, Pat. Just
I don't have it.
Let me look and see. You said it's Connor Anderson?
Uh-huh.
I know. That's what I'm trying to look and make sure. I ain't no telling how many Connors I got on here. Normally I have a few of them.
You know, it's already been like
it's an hour and a half already. Yeah. That's what happens when it gets to rolling. It gets to rolling good. I'll message him on Facebook right quick.
All right.
Because I got him on here. Connor Anderson. Yeah, that's him right there. 205. I see my number. All right. There we go. I got it sent to him.
Now, y'all want me to go ahead and cut out so y'all can get on with him?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
10-4. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all's time. And until next time, don't ask me no questions. I won't tell you no lies.
There you go. All right, Michael. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
All right. See you, man. You too.
All right.
All right. You still there, Pat?
Yeah.
I got this thing figured out now. Finally, or whatever. Well, I sent Connor my number or whatever on that. So is he calling in, you said?
It should be.
Okay. Yeah, he just
I
messed
just talked to him like a minute ago.
Yeah. That's what he just asked, was I ready for him to call? I was like, yeah. I didn't know he was wanting to call in, or we were done moved up, you know.
Well, he's on there. Let's see.
I got you. Maybe it won't take just a minute, but
yeah, he should be.
Yeah, he'll be calling just a second. I just told him to go ahead and call in, and we can there it is. See what's happening. Put the merge to call. Now here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey man, how you going?
Oh, doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh, we still here and alive. That's about it. Sitting here talking a little bit of bullshit with Uncle Pat.
I hear you.
I got you. So you got a question you want to talk to Pat?
Well, me and Pat had kind of been talking a little bit.
Okay.
Last week or so, and yeah.
Hey, I wanted to get Connor on here to talk about, back on another podcast a while back,
mm-hmm.
I proclaimed that there'd be some goddamn brindle dogs winning this hog bait.
Yes.
And now we got us a brindle dog winning, belongs to Connor Anderson. Brindle Dog Mafia is
Hell,
in the house.
that's what I'm talking about.
Now, hey, I predicted a yellow champion too.
Well, I mean, you
I
can't.
didn't say a black dog third. I said a yellow dog.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So tell us what's been happening with you, Connor, and what's going on with it.
Man, it's one of them deals. I've been kind of plugging away at this hog baying deal for the past, I don't know, 5-6 years. And, the group I hang out with it ain't been hard. It ain't been real easy, because you end up with a lot of long nights, whether you're in it or not. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
When you hang out with Joey Barkley and Josh Aswell,
Yep.
and you help them with their dogs, it really don't make a bit of difference if I got one in it or not. I know I'm gonna be there till early morning hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I can't take any credit for what this Brundle dog has been doing. I got to give all that credit to John Smith and the program he's got going. He really did a good job with this dog. And then my wife handles his brother, Chubby. And both of those dogs, they came to us, already doing the thing. I mean, they were talented. They were just raw. And, we've plugged away at it. And, Buddy Rowe is really starting to turn into a man. He's doing what he's supposed to do now. We caught a lot of hogs to get here. And in our game, that ain't, a lot of people say that. They say, well, I'd rather catch out than loop out or anything like that. Well, that sounds real good until you catch out about 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and old Buddy Rose a lot alike. We both handsome and devilish, and we both like to taste the pork.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But these dogs, man, they've impressed me. Buddy Rose started out in May. We really hadn't done nothing earlier in the year. We kind of came up short a lot of times, and we would it ended in more zeros than anything. A lot of catching, and we finally kind of got him to where he's wanting to be. Put a little weight on him, and started kind of figuring out where he needed to be as far as that goes, and came into May. We split 4th and 5th in the one dog, and then the two dog kind of, how it goes. Had a call that I didn't really like in the two dog, and was kind of aggravated about it. And the next morning I got up and was getting ready to leave, and Josh Aswell's daddy pulled me to the side. And if you never had a conversation with Mr. Danny, if you can get him to talk, he's if you pay attention, there's some wisdom in what he says.
Okay.
He had told me, he said, man, I've been watching that dog bay, and he's been really doing it, and he asked me, he said, were you planning on running him today? This was Sunday. I said, well, man, I really wanted to. I said, but I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit aggravated. I said, I think I'm just going to load him up and we're going to go on to the house. And he said, man, I would really think about that before you load up and go. He said, because, he's really been doing it. He said, and if you just load up and leave, you ain't ever going to know what would have happened if you'd have put him in it.
That's right.
And I said, you know what? I said, you might be on to something. And so I went and dug through the money bag, and I had, I think it's $210 to run in the heavyweight belt, and I had 200. So I got Joey to spot me $10, and we put him in it, and he put on a show.
Yep.
Yes, and man, I've been ever since then. He's kind of been on a little bit of a roll. We actually did the exact same thing in October. We skipped the two dog challenge because he really don't do too good if you don't get a chance to run by himself.
Yeah.
He's really got to get some of that piss and vinegar out before you put him with anything else. If he's got a cricket taped to his collar and he goes in there, that's his first run. We're fixing to do some cowboy shit. It's a little hot.
Mm-hmm.
But Came back in October, and we did good again. We split fourth and fifth again. I'm about tired of fourth and fifth. You don't really get an envelope for that, but
Yeah.
he did well for me, and then come back on Sunday and done it again. And I like I said, I can't take any of the credit for it. And me and Pat talked about this. How I've spent a lot of the last 10 years on the road, and every time I'd have to go off, my wife kept everything going here. Kept the dogs fed, kept them tended to. And it goes beyond just pouring feed in a bowl. I mean, you know how it is. All you guys have got dogs. You know what happens anytime you're away from the house. Everything's gonna get sideways.
Okay. Let me just say something before we get a little further. Now I'm sitting here, say I'm sitting here listening, and I'm just getting started. But I'm listening to understand this man, and he done taught me that a pound or two. There's a difference in winning and losing. I don't know sheep shit from Shinola, but listening to the Connor talk, he just showed me that how you feed the dog is more important than anything else.
Yeah. And I wish I'd have paid it. I wish he would have said that shit 2 years ago. And here's why, because like I got chaos. We got chaos.
Well, you ought to knew a pound or two.
Well,
you ought to knew it.
Well, my pound or two, when I first got our dogs, they looked real good, but I was like, man, he's real athletic. So we cut him a pound or two, and that son of a bitch got hot real quick. I was like, oh hell.
Yeah.
So we put him about 3 or 4 pounds more than what he was. And we went ahead and won that one. Then we got a couple of second places, which, second ain't bad, but it ain't first. But like we got a second place finish a couple of times out there at Hickory Crossing, but it was to Halo and Dina, Cody Odom's dog and Tadpole's dog. They'll bay a damn rock for 4 hours. So I wasn't too upset with it, but that 1 or 2 pounds makes such a huge difference. And when you said that a while ago, I was thinking the same thing Pat did just say it. I was like, this right here is teaching people something already.
If they'll just listen, it's there.
Yep.
Well, and the deal is, I was working in Georgia, working in South Carolina, working all over, and I was fortunate. I had a company that understood that, if they wanted me to keep working there, they had to cut me loose every now and then and let me go. And, so I'd catch a flight. And I remember I flew into San Antonio one night, got in at midnight, got a cab to take me to Nixon. I mean, it was about an hour and a half cab ride. That cab driver was one pissed off son of a gun when he found out where our destination was, and get there. I ain't seen my dogs in probably a month. I get there and guess what? They're ready to go. And when I say ready, their weight's right, everything's right. But, I can't take no credit for that.
That's right.
I wasn't the one doing the hard stuff. I wasn't the one that loaded the dog box and drove 9 hours to get the dogs there.
Yep.
And so I've been fortunate, man. I can't, like I said, I put the dogs on the road. Like here lately, I've lucky enough to get a job where I've got the time to go and do. But man, these dogs were ready to be hauled when I got them. John was in a place where he couldn't haul them. And so, I told him, and it's one of them deals. I'll tell you about John just for a second. Me and John really didn't know each other that well. I mean, we did, we had hung out at bands and, this and that, but we had never really talked just a whole lot. And there was a band at Broughton Island, and I was working in Savannah, Georgia. So I decided, if there's a hog band going on and I'm within driving distance, like I'm gonna go. So I jugged on down there and met up with him, and he was just talking about, needing to get some young dogs some experience. And I said, well, look, sell me them 2 dogs. So you tell me what you want to have for them. I said, sell me them 2 Brundle dogs. And if you get ready to get back in it, you say the word and you can have them back for exactly what I give you. So don't, no questions asked. I said, hopefully they'll be better than they were when I got them. I said, they're going to get good partners. They're going to get good runs. You know, we're not going to blow them up, none of that. It's going to be, you know, it'll be good for them. And by the end of the baying, you know, we kind of agreed on it. And, you know, hell, from there, we hauled them to Earl's and tell you what them suckers did to me. So he was telling me, so man, you know, I don't think they're going to be all that hot. I said, all right. So we kind of paired middle of the ground, you know, not quite the way Josh pairs his dogs, but, you know, not soft either. And first round, man, I think we had 6 teams come back all together. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, we're really doing something, you know. That second round, let me tell you something. We caught some swine. I think we caught out 6 of the 7.
Damn.
And yeah, that was good. You know, that was good to me. That was a wake up. I said, all right, these suckers are a little hotter than what I was thinking. And you know, that kind of went on several times. You know, we did something similar down in South Texas, and then John he knew what the problem was with Buddy Rowe. But he let me figure it out on my own. He told me, you know, he'd make mention. He said, man, and this goes back to what you're saying about paying attention. He said, man, you know, a pound or 2 probably wouldn't hurt him. And I was thinking, man, yeah, you know, I could do that, I guess. But what he meant was he needed about 6, 7, maybe even closer to 10 pounds before he was going to want a bag, you know. And once we did that, boy, it's a different story, you know. But it was rough going there for a little while. But you know, he's a pleasure. The dog's a pleasure. I really, you know, kind of bonded with him in the last little bit. You know, at first our relationship was, you know, he liked me a whole lot because I was the one that got him off his chain and we went and did, you know, fun shit. Mm-hmm. But as time has gone on, you know, both of them dogs have really taken up with us. And, you know, John came to a show and I told him, I said, well, look, you look like you're getting around better, you know, shoulders better. You ready for these dogs back? He said, man, them 2 dogs wouldn't run for me if I got them now. He said, look at them. And, you know, and he I don't know that Buddy Rowe probably run for him just fine. But, man, that Chubby, he watches my wife like a hawk everywhere she goes. And I don't.
Good looking.
Well, you know, I don't blame him. But, you know, it's just one of them things where, you know, we're fortunate to have people like John and, you know, and then also like Joey and Josh, man. You know, Joey and Josh are great guys if you ever get a chance to talk with them. Now, Joey, if you ask Joey a question and there's a possibility the answer might hurt your feelings, you may not want to ask it.
I found that out.
Yep.
Yeah. I was sitting beside a guy and I'm not going to call no names or nothing, but the guy said something and he said, ain't that right, Joey? And he was talking to me. And I was sitting behind Joey Barkley, and he looked right at Joey Barkley, and Joey looked at him. He said, I don't even like you, son bitch. And just turned right back around and drank that cold beer. I said, damn, that's what I'm talking about. And he was just looked at me. He was like, what was that? I was like, he don't like you. And he just moved on. And look, never cracked a smile or nothing. Just kept on about it.
Yeah.
So you guys that's never been to the hog baying, it happens more times than not. Just what Connor's saying. Mm-hmm. You come to a few, you're gonna meet people, and before you know it, somebody's gonna lay something on you.
Yep.
And when nobody's somebody like John Smith,
tell you a winner, but everything there. When he's talking about splitting 4th and 5th, that's against world champions.
You damn
that
right.
Ain't no goddamn pumpkin pulling. That ain't pumpkin pulling.
No.
That's against world champions. 4th and 5th.
You take your ass up there to Uncle Earl's and you just finish. If you just finish the whole weekend, if you go to the bay off and you just make it to the final round, or if you go 2 or 3 rounds, you done something. You done something.
For sure.
Exactly. That's what I said. The first time I think the first time we carried our dogs, we went to the final round. And, you know, that's when there's no mistakes. Like, you know, the first time we bayed a 10, I was like, hell yeah, we're in. We did good. Well, shit, that's just starting. I mean, that 2-minute round ain't nothing.
I'm going to tell you, the first time I bayed a 10, I was so used to getting put out in the first round, I was already packing our shit. Yeah. We were getting ready to leave, and somebody come up to me and say, hey, man, where you going? The guy I was running with. We went down to South Texas to Will Seeger's, and he come up to me and he said, "Hey, where you going?" I said, "We're supposed to go get some sleep, man. It's an 8-hour drive back to the house." He said, "No, you ain't going to bed yet." He said, "We got a 10." I said, "You're shitting me." I didn't even know, man. And I wish, like, if I could give anybody any advice for starting out and this stuff, and, the number one advice I'd say is to make sure you're all right with spending some money and not seeing nothing come back for a little while. But the number one thing I would say, so I don't do what I did. Like, I had a little dog that, he was a registered dog, and he wasn't really bred for the bay pen. He's a good dog, he would have probably done a hell of a lot better in the woods, but, the first flyer I saw was for Jake's big $1,000 entry deal in East Texas. And I told my wife about it. We'd never been to a hog band, mind you. I showed it to her. I said, "I want to go do this." And she said, "I think we ought to find one that ain't that first, and see if you like it before we, throw out $1,000 on something we ain't never done." I said, "Well, you're probably right." So we ended up, they had a memorial show at the Ike Hamilton in West Monroe for Bubba Barden. And I'd never been to a band. I guess I forgot how to read because I looked at the flyer, and all I remember about it was that it had a 1-dog event and a 2-dog event. I said, "Well, hell, I got 1 dog, so we'll do that." Now, this dog was only like 11 months old. Like, he'd have qualified for the puppy. And I skipped over that part of the flyer, I guess.
Yeah.
So I show up. We all show up, enter my dog, and I even got, man, I bought my Calcutta too, and I don't remember who the dumb sucker that bid against me on it was, but like, I was confident, man. I'm like, "Look, we just gonna go in here and do something." And the first like 5 or 6 runs, it was dogs like Rooster and Joey's Dominator dog, and several other Clyde. There's several big name dogs in this thing, and I'm watching, and I'm thinking I have made a mistake. Like, this is not going to be good for my little puppy here. But I went out there and gave him a pep talk. I said, "Look, cuz," I said, "I done paid the money now." I said, "You're going." I said, "Not only did I pay the money, I paid you Calcutta too, so you got to go out there and do this, And I think he paid like a 9.7, 9.8. He didn't get 8. I thought he was going to get swallowed up. He wasn't a very big dog. And that right there, though, that and I tell you, another dog that was there was Drew Todd's dog, Milo.
Oh, yeah.
So, I watched these dogs, and now I'm sitting here thinking, man, this is how far away from it I really was. I'm way off. And so but after that, we kind of settled in, and I remember talking to a few people here and there. I don't remember everybody, but then the first show that we come to next would have been in January at Triple R. It was nasty, sleeting. My little girl was just walking, didn't really we didn't know anybody, but I remember meeting Steve Lester. And so I talked to him, and I remember watching some yellow dogs, and I wanted them. I was like, man, that's what I need right there. And so it was Joker and Dillinger and Dominator and a couple of others Joey had at that point. And so I talked to Steve. I said, "Hey, that man over there in them blue overalls." I said, "Who is that?" And he said, "That's Joey Barkley." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what are the odds of me getting a pair of puppies from him?" I said, "Does he sell puppies? What's the deal?" And he just kind of looked at me and he said, "Well, if he had a daughter and you had the opportunity to marry her, it's still going to be like 50-50 on whether you're going to get puppies or not." And I said, "Well," I said, "just give me some time." I said, "We'll see." And so I went over there, and I just forced Joey to talk to me. You know how Joey is.
Oh, yeah.
And but I finally got him to where he'd talk to me, and then we were living up that way. So he said, "Man, you ought to come bay with us at the house sometime." I said, "All right, yeah, I'll do that." So we kind of hit it off like that, and it was probably a year later. I had 4 or 5 yellow puppies, and I staked them out over there, kind of where Chad and little Steve like to hang out. And he come walking by. He said, "Where them yellow dogs come from?" I just pointed over there, and he said, "You son of a bitch." He said, "You told me you was gonna get some." I said, "Yeah, I told you." I said, "I had to." It took a little while, but I finally got my hands on some of it,
Hell yeah.
But and that's going back to what I was saying. I can't. I ain't done nothing that somebody else couldn't do. You know, all it is I fell in with the right people and they've taken care of me. And that's it. You know, they ain't no secret sauce. Now there's stuff, you know, that you can do that'll help you, and there's stuff you can do that'll hurt you. And I don't think that was the point of this conversation, but
it's something that, you know, like you said though, it's out there. It can go good or bad. You can, depending on what you do.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be what you make of it, what you put in it.
If you bring your ass out there to a bay and you stand over in the corner and don't talk to nobody, people are going to be like, well, what the hell's wrong with them?
That's right.
They're not going to come over there and knock on your door.
No, sir.
You know, because they're already there. And that's what happened to me. First couple of times I went, I was just like, well, I don't really know nobody. But like you said, I started talking to a few people, and then the next thing you know, it's like, shit, I'm leaving. They're shoving dogs in the box.
That's what I'm talking about. They'll give you better stuff than what you could buy.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't buy a dog. You can't buy a winner.
No.
I mean, yeah, you can, but you're going to start at about 15,000.
Yes.
Well, and that's another thing. That's kind of where I was going. You know, if a new person wants to come into this, there's a few different ways to do it. If money's no object, you know, you can find a dog out there that's for sale. Now, they all got holes in them. That's the other part of it. All of them got something wrong with them, even the ones that ain't for sale. They all got a hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the deal. You gotta, you know, you gotta understand that no matter how much money you spend on him, he can still go out there and screw up right out the gate.
What do they do, Uncle Pat? They eat shit and screw their mama.
That's it.
How can you put 100% faith behind something that'll do that?
That's the only guarantees in it.
That's the only guarantee it is. Joy Barkley was one of the first people ever to be nice to me in a hog band. For some reason, people thought I was an asshole. I just really don't give a shit, and I like messing with people, but I'm really not an asshole. But Joy used to run running dogs, too, and he was good at it.
Yeah.
He run the fox pens, and I mean, so he was already a dog man before he started baying hogs. Hey, I got a belt buckle. Shit, I'll probably never win a nothing, but I got a belt buckle. I won down at El Perro Loco. Oh, me and Johnny White. I won that. Hell, I don't got to win nothing else. I got to get that buckle and hell with him.
That's all you
and
need.
I wanted look, and I wanted with a coon dog.
Yeah.
I really did. Jake conditioned him for me for about 3 weeks. Went in there and won me a belt buckle.
Well, I'm bringing Nathan's coon dog with us next time we come. I'm telling you, Shell, she's never even seen coons like in a hunting situation. Nathan carried her hunting. Hell, she start treeing, but you know, of course, she's pulling off tree, and she ain't know she's a coon dog yet. We went last night, knocked one out to her. I think we had 3 by the end of the next hour or so. And but this son bitch loves to bay a hog. She loves to bay a hog. I don't give a damn about no coons.
Boars N Broads has a woods dog, and he ain't even a good woods dog. That'd be the first to tell you. He really ain't. He really ain't. I mean, he'll show out sometimes and shine every now and again, but his battery's just always low.
Yeah.
You got
but that's all big for $3,000.
Oh, 12.
Well, look, let me tell you something about 12. 12, you know, most woods dogs, when they come into the bay pen, they do one or two things wrong. They either are looking around, waiting for help, waiting for a catch dog, or they're baying too far back because they know what them suckers are about. Yep. You know, they know what. And so 12 is kind of a anomaly. He falls in a special. Yeah, that's right. I mean, he falls in a special group because he don't really do nothing stupid. He just stands there and bays.
Carter sent me.
He's the goddamn ignorant. He don't know no better.
Carter sent me the video the day before he got, or the day he got 12. They were in Texas and he was headed back to Uncle Earl's. He said, "What?" He said, "You think I ought to get this dog?" And he sent me just a clip. Was it Uncle Earl's or was I? We might have been in Nixon. Hell, I don't remember. But it was at Earl's. Yeah, he sent me that damn video, and I said, if you don't, I want that sumbitch. I mean, that dog was baying like hell. Is that a little old backyard bay pen deal, you know? And he said, well, he's a woods dog. I said, well, shit. I said, yeah, you better put that in the box, buddy.
Yes, sir. He's nice.
Yeah, he's a nice dog.
I watched him at this last one, and man, I didn't have nothing on him. I mean, he done it, you know.
And there's so many people telling Carter, they're like, you can't hunt him and run him in a bay pen.
Well, whatever he's been doing, I don't know that I'd stop doing it. I mean,
He's feeding that son bitch pigs is what he's doing. He's feeding him pigs.
Yeah.
Because he's doing
you know,
it.
and that's the other thing, you know, strategy plays a big part in all this.
Yeah.
You got to have a game plan, and you can't let outside circumstances influence your game plan.
That's the other thing I was going to touch on was you was a little bit aggravated. You was going home.
Yes, sir.
But you had an outside force bring you back to zero.
I did.
Bring you back to zero. And the next time you snap that leash on that dog, nothing but positive energy went down it.
That's right. And they feel it, man. They feel it.
And they feel it. They fucking feel it. Had he not told you that, and you not went home, I believe with everything about me that you wouldn't have won that.
Yep.
I believe it too. I know I wouldn't have, because I'd have been in Purvis, Mississippi. You know, I wouldn't. I'd done said to hell with it, man. I was holding chairs and stuff, putting them in the back of my truck when he come and got me.
Now, Buddy Rowe, he's that leggy dog, ain't he? Is Buddy Rowe the real leggy?
Yeah, he's a little leaner. Yeah, he's a little leaner.
I like that son. It looks like he's got socks on. Brindle.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
him.
I know that song.
Yeah.
I know that song.
Yeah. He's salty now. His brother's got better moves, but I tell you something. When Buddy Rowe bays, and this helps us sometimes, and sometimes not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he bays, he's baying. He wants to breathe the same air as the hog.
Yeah.
He's going to be right there in his face, and the hog's going to look at him one way or another. He's going to look at him.
I got you.
And you know what he does that I like, and you think that, you know, every time he's going to get whooped down, but he really don't. When the hog moves, he's hitting him on the head, and he'll grab a hold and ride it out until the hog's done fighting. Mm. And then a lot of times he'll turn him back loose and go back to baying. Well, where we getting it, like I said, every one of them's got a hole. So I'm gonna tell you what his is. As long as the hog's moving towards him, you know, like if say we get down to a head-to-head situation, I want every hog coming straight at the dogs.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I like my chances if a hog's trying to get the dogs. Because Buddy Rowe, you ain't gonna out-mean him. You know,
no,
you can try, but you know he's pretty salty, and that's his favorite way to do it. Now, where we get in trouble is if a hog's moving away from him. You know, not quite running, but not quite walking. You know, if he don't shift over and get in front of him, he'll let the hog walk on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't bad to do it, but that's his hole. That's what he does wrong. And there ain't a lot, you know, there ain't a lot you can do for that. Because in his mind, he's thinking, hey, this son of a gun ain't getting me. He's on the wall. I'm good. You know, and
yeah, but that's where they get me too. Because I got them Julys, and they more like a cow dog.
Right. They're going to use their body position instead of their mouth.
That's right. They're going to swing around like baying a sounder, circling a sounder like we talked about earlier before you was on it. And they're going to get to that head. And they get me every time for that. Mm-hmm. But in the woods, to me, that's textbook. But I will be breeding a walker dog to Buddy Rowe as soon as you get to a point where you can let some of that out.
Yeah.
You're not competing. Because as the man put it to me, old Buddy Rowe ain't got no shit nowhere in his body. No neck bone, ear bone, none of that. No shit nowhere.
No, sir. I tell you, you know, I've heard people say it, and I refuse to say it. I've caught myself a couple of times because that son of a gun, they'll make you overconfident. You know, they do something cool, and you feel your chest swell up. You want to say something. It's best not to. Because, you know, I've heard people say, oh, that dog, he ain't never turned his ass to a hog. Let me tell you what's going to happen the next time you run him.
Yeah.
He's fixing to roll. And unless you got a shovel and you've dug up Rooster and figured out how to bring that joker back, you got a dog that'll roll, I promise. Because Rooster is the only dog I can say with utmost certainty I never saw turn his ass to a hog.
Yeah.
I ain't saying there ain't other ones. There may be a couple others out there that never did. But I promise you, there's not any competing right now that won't do it.
I was thinking to say, I've seen him turn that ass.
everybody talks about Crow and how he was. I seen that son of a bitch get a hog off rooster with 2 broke legs.
That's what I'm talking about. And you can't put that in them.
No, that ain't trained.
No, sir.
That's game.
That's right. And rooster, you know, you the bar, like, you know, that's something me and Jake talk about. So, you know, like, he's asking me, what you going to do in January? You going to defend the belt? I said, no, sir, I'm not. And he kind of looked at me funny. I said, well, here's the deal. I said, that's a hard event. I said, you're up against the best dogs running, you know, at least 10 to 15 of them. And you don't have any recovery time in that. And you're baying the baddest hogs y'all got pinned up back there.
Well, yeah, hey, that's another thing. I ain't going to sidetrack you, but we got them.
Yeah, they bad, all right? And so, you know, it's one thing, you know, like Buddy Rose got a short memory. There ain't no doubt. Like, he can take a thrashing and come back in the next round if he's 30, 40, 50 inches, and he's just fine. You know, he ain't going to act like that first round even happened. But when you've only got a few minutes to recover, and then you back in there fighting for your life, it takes a toll on him. And the dog's only 3 years old.
Yeah.
That's where I was going for that, yeah.
You know, and once you break one down, there ain't no building them back up all the way. You never get back to where you were.
I agree with that.
You know,
that's right.
You put a hole in them then, a bigger one.
You can have the fastest July jip in the world, and you breed that son of a bitch, and you'll never see that 25 miles an hour again. Usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same way with a hog whooping a dog.
And so, you know, we talked about, and this is another thing, it goes back to comparisons, and this is in sports, is anything you talk about. You know, everybody wants to talk about this one versus that one. You know, I've got my own opinion on that as far as bay dogs go, but, you know, the bar is set awful high. Like, you know, if you are using what other dogs have done as your metric to if you're successful or not, you're not going to ever be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Usually. All right. So, like, if you want to do championships, you know, the average person, the average dog that's going to catch goose, it ain't going to happen. I'm just going to be honest with you. The odds of it happening in today's game, as strong as all the dogs are, because there's a handful, about 2 handfuls of dogs that can beat you on any given night.
Yep.
You know, it's more competitive, I believe, than it's ever been. And so, there's that working against you. And if every event, if all you're thinking about is setting a record or the most wins in a row, like, you're doing your dog a disservice. You know, the way I look at it, whatever event I just entered my dog in, that's what I'm after. Not thinking past that. I want the envelope and the trophy for this event. And then we'll worry about the next one when the next one comes.
Mm-hmm.
So let me put something out there. So you trying to tell us you're going to say Buddy for Earls?
Well, what I'm telling you is there's 2 dogs that have won the belt back to back. Gator was one of them, and Buddy Rose the other one. Now, there's been several win it twice, but there's only been 2 win it back to back. Gator won it 3 times. He won it 3 straight. He won the belt, and I'd have to go back and look. Jake could probably tell better, but he won it either 8 or 9 times. Like, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Gator was an anomaly.
Gator, if you want my gospel opinion, and Randy might want to beat me up after this, but I think pound for pound, Gator was the best bay pen dog to ever step foot in a pen.
I'll help you on that, Connor.
Randy will probably tell you that.
I'm Randy's handler. I'm his coach and trainer outside of the bay pen, so I'll take care of that.
I appreciate that. Every fighter needs a good manager.
I didn't talk about fighting. I was just talking shit. I manage his shit talking.
I hear you. I don't. Look,
that son gun did message me. He said, "Hey, I'm ready to talk some shit now." Like yesterday or day before yesterday, I said, "Okay, I'll get you scheduled."
Yeah, that's right. Well,
you know, it ain't a 10th of points difference in first and last once you get to them bay-offs.
Yep,
that's a fact. It's a nice edge.
So I mean, it's just right there. So it boils down to what you're talking about. The dog, the set of dogs you're talking about. It boils down to the judge and the handler.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and what the handler done before he got there. You know, that's what it boils down to.
Mhm.
Ain't a nickel's worth of difference in the dogs. They all got
Yeah.
holes in them.
I think
Well,
the
I'll say
hog,
this.
the hog might
I'll-
have a little bit too. Y'all think that?
It does. The
Don't your
draw.
hog- the
Well,
draw-
A lot of people talk about luck, and I'm gonna say this.
No.
I don't think luck plays not 1 ounce of factor
None.
in this game.
Yeah.
Not on this level. Not on this level.
On your personal expectations, it might. But as far in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that luck plays a factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. I just don't believe
I
it.
agree. I do agree with that. I don't think luck has much at all to do with it.
Now, you talk about the great dogs. Like I said, I hate comparisons, but you know the number matters. The wins matter. You know, if we're going off wins, then Cowboy's the greatest dog ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that, I don't know what to tell you. Because the way you do it matters too.
Yeah.
You know, to me,
the first bay off I ever went to, there was, I think, 18 dogs in it, and that was back in this when Georgia was having a bay in every week, seemed like every 2 weeks, and then in the course of just a few years, it got to where it was 30 or 40 dogs. Then it got to where it's half the field. And it's not because it's getting worse. It's because the level of competition is getting better. Like at Jake's, last year, there was 143 runs and there was 70 in the bay off. Yeah. And everybody was like, well, there's something wrong with that. No, that's just how good these dogs are. You can't go in with a 9-9 dog. A 9-8 or 9-9 dog is not, you might as well stay home or you might as well just come and hang out.
Well, and there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
after a while, you know, I told you I had a young dog that, you know, he really wasn't a pen dog. And I ain't, you know, hey, I won a trophy with him and, you know, all that. But I spent, I don't know how much money to get that one trophy.
Same thing, buddy.
I put him on the sideline and there was a couple shows. We just come and had a good time, you know, and honestly, I probably had a better time.
Yes.
You know, I didn't have the red eyes. I don't think not one time. You know,
the last one we went to, that's all we did, bud. We set our dogs up for a little while and we just went and hung out and had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, y'all, I got to get over here. I got to get something out.
That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna finish this up with Connor here, buddy. We appreciate you and we'll talk at you.
Info, y'all be good.
See you.
All right, Pat.
Let's see if I can do this. All right. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But I wasn't taking a stab at Goose there. Goose as far as reading a hog, you're not gonna find better. I've never seen anything quite like him.
That's something good. He's got it now.
He's phenomenal. But what I was saying about Gator, you know, the bar being set too high. I mean, we're talking about a dog that won 4 championships. The points were different. You know, now you get 7 points for winning a one dog. When he was running, you only got 5, and he won those championships on just one dog points.
Damn,
he
was a one dog only.
2 dogs.
Yeah,
pretty much. I'd have to talk to Steve about that, but I don't think he scored very many 2 dog points.
I don't think he did either, because that's one reason I started going to any bays or paying attention. I seen a magazine and it had Steve Lester and Gator. And I was like, damn, check that out. Well, then the next time I looked in that magazine, it had Steve Lester and Gator. I was like, well, shit, that old dog. Yeah, I didn't know much about it. Well, then the next time I seen it, they had won Uncle Earl's that time. Then they won East Texas, and they won this one and that one. I was like, holy shit, this Gator dog is the truth. And that's when I really started paying attention.
Yeah, and so like if you set your goals according to dogs like that, man, like you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because those dogs are once in a lifetime dogs. Goose, Gator, you know, Clyde, all these dogs. That man, they don't just spring out of the ground, you know, and so you got to find. It's kind of you got to measure against yourself. You got to measure against your dog and where he's progressed and where he's performed. You know, like right now I'm tickled to death with where we're at, because the path that we took to get here wasn't easy. you
That's
know.
right.
And like I said, there was a lot of runs where, you know, and like Lacey's dog, same way. You know, you get down to 10 seconds left and the son of a gun catches out.
Oh,
Man, 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah. It's
You know,
heartbreaking.
it is. It is. And you know, it's 3 a.m. It's got to be 3 a.m. You know, it ain't going to be early in the night.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they're
No
going to
doubt.
wait until you've already, you know,
Or
till you've
you're
already
the
been out.
last 4 or 5 that's running, period.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
got to
that's
be
right.
there all damn night long.
That's right. You know, and so, you know, and like Buddy Row, you know, I figured out at Earl's, you know, I had to work, had a project come up and I wasn't able to make it for the whole week. And so I showed up for the 2 dog. Well, you know, like I said, I have to run him in the 1 dog. Otherwise, I might as well leave him at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? We didn't run him in the 1 dog and he caught out in both of his 2-minute runs.
Yep.
You know, that sucks. I mean, it is, but it's, you know, it's part of it. I mean,
because not only that, you look at how much it's going to cost you. And look, I'm not talking about the price of the entry fees. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's 50 or 250. So you have to run the 1 dog, even though he's really not the greatest 1 dog, or, you know, or whatever. But if you don't run him in the 1 dog, he definitely is not going to 2 dog. Yeah.
That's right. And
so
that
Chaos
was
is the same way. We had to run him. Yeah. I try to hit the old and young or some. I got to run him at least 1 time before his real runs come in.
Yeah. And that's the deal, you know, and me and John have had this conversation, me and a few other people, you know, Buddy Row's not the 1 dog that what he's done here lately would make it seem like he is. He's good. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of him, but I never saw him being a great 1 dog.
Mm-hmm.
This was a necessity. The one dog event was a necessity to where I could do, because and I still believe this. Over time, I believe he's going to soften up as he gets older, and I believe he's going to be a much better 2 dog than he is a 1 dog. But I can't not run the 1 dog. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not that's not in the cards for us right now, because that son of a gun, if you ever get to watch him his first run of the weekend in the 1 dog, I can't talk to him. I can't breathe hard. I can't do nothing, because that son of a gun is sitting on ready. Like he's, and if he feels a little bit too much lightning coming down that leash, he's finna show you something.
He's finna get old.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And like you said, we got to, when we first started running our pair, Chaos and Junior, man, they wouldn't even put teeth on the hog. Yeah. And I let that confidence get to me. I don't remember where. We were at Hickory Crossings, and there was 4 of us in the final bay off in the 2 dog, the last one that they had, and I was laughing. Everybody called out. Every one of them called out. It was Lulu, and Shelby, and Tadpole, and us, and it was our turn to go. And I'll be damned if my dogs didn't go in there and stretch that pig just as plain as day. And everybody
when
just
got never.
And that's the first. I said, well, I got this, and boys, I said, all they got to do is bay. It can be a damn 5. You know, all they got to do is bay the pig. And they didn't bark twice and called him. I said, oh my. So we were in kind of a conundrum. We had 4 in the bay off, and all 4 of us called out. So we had to just do it again. Yeah. And I think we wound up with 2nd place on that one, but it was horrible. I think they literally bayed like a 9.7, 9.6, 9.7. But at the same time, if you say that they won't do something, they're going to make you a lie.
Yeah, they're fixing to show you something.
Yes, boy.
I promise.
And like you said, we was fired up ourselves. You know, we was all pumped and we was all hopped up and ready. And like you said, they feel that lightning coming down. They fixing to show you something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they can tell. They can sure tell. We did that in South Texas one time. We had got them down there, and it was hot. You know, it was summertime baying, you know, night baying, and it's different kind of hot down there. You know, I'm used to hot being in South Mississippi. You know, it's always hot, but that kind of hot over there is a whole different animal. And but we had done good, you know, condition wise. You know, everybody was in shape, and first round we come out, we done good. You know, I think. Miss June had already won first. She had the only 10 in the first round, which is not typical. You know, that was a different kind of deal there. But, you know, Clyde went out there and done what he was supposed to do, and the rest of us didn't. Well, I think I had 6 of the 14 teams come back in the playoff.
Mm.
And so you already know what I was thinking.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, man, I'm fixing to clean house. Like I'm fixing to put it to them. And let me tell you something, them brindle dogs got it in their head that we were going to catch hogs, and that's exactly what we done.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
The only team I had that didn't catch out, I ran my legs dog, which came from Joey Barkley. I had him paired with Derail, Michael Batten's dog.
Mm-hmm.
And they drew a headhunter, man. They drew something that I wish I'd have had Buddy Rowe in the pen for.
Yeah.
And he forevermore got his ass whipped.
Mm.
And I think we ended up, they paid 3 holes and we ended up in 4th place. And, it's a 10-hour drive down there. I was aggravated. I said, you sorry sucker. I just can't help but catch hogs. I said, I don't know what to do with you. But
that's the way it
man,
goes.
But I tell you what, it's aggravating and it'll make you cuss and it'll make you mad. But one thing about it, both of them dogs, and it's funny to watch. Lacey's dog is worse than mine about this. He's so proud of himself after he catches one, you can't hardly even get on to him. I watched him in the 2-dog challenge. He caught out. We didn't have much time left. We would have been baying for the money. And the hog that come out, he's already a little tore up. He done had his butt handed to him. And we bayed him. I think it was a 5-minute round, and we were down to about 20 seconds, and he hung that sucker on the back leg, and right in the spot where they can't get him off.
Yep.
There's blood everywhere. The sucker's covered up. And when Lacey went out there in the pen to get him, that sucker's tail was wagging. I'm talking hitting himself in both sides of the rib, and he reared up on her and smeared blood all over her. He was so damn proud of himself, and all I could do was laugh. I was like, them 2 dogs especially give me everything they got every time we turn them loose. Everything. If they run out of gas, then that means that they just didn't have nothing left to give.
Mm-hmm.
Because they give me everything they got every time we go out there. And at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, I'm happy with that.
That's right. If that's all they got, man, that's all they got. It's all they can do.
That's it.
And if you haven't seen your dogs do that, then a lot of people don't really know. They don't know what we know.
That's right.
And I don't mean that by being a smart ass. It's like you don't know the feeling.
That's right.
When you look at that dog and all the work and the time and effort that you or your handler or whoever, like Nate does 90% of all our stuff. So I know how much work he puts into it. And if I see that dog and it's went all it can go, there's a feeling of satisfaction that you just can't duplicate. It don't matter if they made mistakes. It don't matter. But they done all they could do, and I can't get mad at them.
Yeah, that's Carter had sent me a message after this last show, and he said, "Man, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I watched Buddy Rowe put on the finest 3 minutes of a 1-dog run I believe I've ever watched." And that was when you don't get a lot of that, because in the past, I mean, what's somebody going to say, man, them dogs caught that hog better than anybody else out here. They ain't a lot good to say until you're really doing something good.
Mm-hmm.
And, that really, that make you feel good. But, the last round, the Center Gun, he run out of gas. Well, really the round before last, he was whooped. And, but we ended up squeaking out of it, and had to come back again. And luckily we cooled him down pretty quick and had him ready, and he was able to pull it off. But Jake told me, he said, "Man, it wasn't pretty," he said, "but it was good enough to get it done." And I said, he gave me every ounce of what he had. I said, every bit of it, he left it out there. And that's all I can ask. If we'd have lost, then we'd have just lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. I've had dogs in the past that you can tell they're holding back. They're cruising or they're not giving you, and that gives me that'll give me high blood pressure before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really digging and trying and you giving me what you got a place here. But if you're foxing on me and you're not really giving me what you got, I have a hard time. I have a hard time with that.
Oh yeah.
I got one that barks so hard. I mean, you're gonna hear his teeth pop and his head's gonna bounce.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm talking about.
And I mean, it's almost a head shake, but it's not. And he's got docked before. We were actually in the bay off at Earl's, and me and Miss Joy Shaw was standing above him watching him in the corner. He never took his eyes, and I'm not mad by no means, but I seen his head the way it moved. I said, they're gonna hit him for that. She said, no, surely not. I said, if I was a judge, I would. From sitting looking at their angle. He was in the lower corner by the stands. It would be on the east side.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, there's really no way to tell.
Right.
But his eyes never came off that hog, man, and he was just hitting it so hard. And that's what you're talking about when a dog is doing that. And I'm not trying to harp on my dog. Please don't take it that way. But it's just in relation, because I know what you're saying. And when they're doing that, it's like, I don't care if they're making mistakes or if you think it's a mistake or whatever, but when they're trying and they're digging as hard as they can go. I mean, when he barks and he breathes in and his chest is rattling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like. And I'm blessed enough to have a couple of shit eaters that do that. But they're still young and they got quirks, you know, and like you said, it's one of them deals where you're going to have to put some money out there and you got to have some patience.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, man. And I think that's the hardest thing for new people to come into this, because it's not, you know, it ain't an easy sport. It's so special, like it's a specific set of skills in a dog that you don't see hardly in any other, you know, in any other dog event. You know, you have to have a level of grit and focus. You know, a lot of people got gritty dogs, but to have one that'll stand in one spot if need be and bark for that amount of time, you know, you and a lot of people tell me, well, 2 minutes ain't a long time. All right, well, come stand next to me during a run and tell me, because Lacey will get aggravated with me. If it's her running, I can't hardly stand there and watch, you know, after the 2 minute round, because I can't do nothing. I can't say nothing. I can't, you know, and if I can't say or do nothing, and look, them dogs don't listen to a word I say. I'll go ahead and tell you. I talk to Buddy Rowe because I need to talk to Buddy Rowe. It ain't that he needs my help with nothing.
Yeah, I got you.
But if I can't sit there and say nothing, I feel like I'm gonna explode. You know, I have to walk off. You know, I just can't hardly do it.
Yeah.
And you know, but it's hard for new folks to get into this. You know, because like I said, there's two paths to get in it. You know, you either spend some money on dogs that are already doing it, or you raise your own. And you know, that's a process. I mean, it takes time.
It is.
You know? And it's a commitment. I mean, when you've only got, we'll say you got a pair of puppies that are doing it. Well, then you're going to run in the puppy bay. You might run old and young, and then you're a spectator the rest of the time. You know, and that's it. It'll put an itch on you, you know, like, hell, I wish I could run Buddy Rowe in every event. I really do. I wish that he qualified for every novice event, amateur, 1 dog, 2 dog. I'd love to run him, you know, 12 times in the 2 dog. But
that's right.
You know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Yes, I do.
But at the same time, the dog, not one time has he went and signed himself up. All right. So when and I'm not knocking what other people do. It's everybody's got their own choices to make, their own strategy to play with. But, you know, I pick my 2 best runs for each dog. And that's what we roll with. Because I've seen it, you know, like when I pick a run, I'm planning on them to go to the pay window. Now, very rarely does it work out that way. But if I don't have confidence in the run, what am I paying my money for?
Yeah, not just to run them and run around.
That's right. It ain't for shits and giggles, you know. We're trying to win. And so I feel like, and you know, I could be wrong, but I feel like if you put 2 real good shots in it, you know, and granted, it's going to be hard to find more than 2 that just absolutely fit your dog. Like, it's what they need, and it's what the other dog needs. After that second run, if you put in a 3rd or 4th or a 5th, you're hurting your chances on your first 2. Because here's what's going to happen. If they all get in, let's say you got your dog's on point and your partner's was on point, and you get in that sucker 5 times, you better hope that sucker's got a hell of a gas tank. Because you're going to end up back to back.
We done that.
And Uncle
And you
Earl's,
end up, well, and it's easy to do, man. Like
well,
I said,
it was
when I
our
first
dog's
started,
partner. Our dog's partner done that, and I think he ran him 6 times, and he was in the bay off 4 times, and we were
yeah,
the
that's
last
tough.
run. And
Yeah, you got the short end of the stick.
oh
Man.
yeah, we should have just went on to the house.
Yep. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know, the dogs, they don't sign themselves up.
Nope.
You know, and so you got to be 2% smarter than what you're working with. And look, like I said, everybody does things different. Everybody's got different goals. I'm not knocking nobody that wants to run 5, 6 times, but if you truly want a legitimate shot, I think that you're money ahead picking your 2 best and running it. You know, your dog is.
You got to have a
gonna,
dog that can do it 5 or 6 times too if you're going to run one.
Yeah, and I ain't seen many of them.
No,
to be honest.
Lord, no. Not that can.
Yeah.
They might can stretch it and struggle and really work their ass off and fall out at the end of it.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's everything that they got. Wouldn't it be so much better, like you said, if it was their second run in the bay off or the final bay off, and when they got done, they were still bouncing around a little bit, and you didn't have to give them an IV and, you know,
That's right.
all kinds of crazy shit to keep them from dying.
That's right. You know, and it also, you know, like with a young dog especially, it's easy to do because they'll go. Man, a lot of these young dogs, Buddy Rowe go. He's got a pretty good tank on him. Well, that's fine and good, but it's kind of like a fighter. You know, like Jake's used this analogy before. If a fighter gets hit in the nose enough times, eventually he's going to shy away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you run into. That's the other deal. That's a whole nother subject. But, you know, when this stops being fun for the dog, they're done with it. They're not going to give you everything they got. And, you know, so, you know, yeah, some of these young dogs could probably do it. They could run in multiple events multiple times, and it ain't going to affect them immediately. But over the course of, let's say, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you steadily ride them like that, you're never going to reach their full potential.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, go ahead.
You know, that's not to cut you off, but that's what I'm trying to do with Buddy Rowe. You know, I'm real proud of him, and I'm really excited about what he's doing, what I think he's going to continue to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to burn my young dog up.
That's exactly right.
To try to prove a point. You know, the dog is already proven. He's 3. Yep. Yeah. He'll be 4 right around Earl's, you know. I'm not trying to burn my dog up chasing some record that I'm probably not going to catch anyway.
Hey, well, you got to, like, especially for newcomers, though, Connor, you got to, they don't understand, and I didn't understand this at first either, like all these big name dogs, you know, Cowboy, Rooster, Clyde, you know, Bright Eyes, all these dogs like that, they're not 3 years old.
No.
You know, and that took me a little while to get that. I was like, damn, he's 8. Oh, he's 10.
Good.
Oh, he's 11. I was like, so having a dog that's 3 or 4 years old that's really winning consistently, yeah, don't burn that son gun out. Let him just ease on down the line.
Yeah. Well, and you know, like, you know, it's funny you said that. So up until like recently, like real recently, I thought that Max dog that Randy's got was like 5. You know, I was thinking he's 4 or 5 because when you watch him, he looks like a young dog.
He looks good.
You know, he's arguably one of the best 2 dogs that you're ever going to see. I mean, he's just extremely versatile. You can pair him with almost anything. Like, he is remarkable. And another example is Gomer. You know, Johnny White's dog Gomer, I would have taken him to be 2, 3 years younger than what he is. These dogs are getting on up, you know, and they're still performing at a very high level. Yes. And a lot of that has to do with how their load's managed.
Without a doubt, because they're thinking, you know, how these runs are set up, and they're limiting their runs. They're like, okay, I'll run him 3 times, and that's it.
Yeah.
Some might do 1 or 2 more. Some might do only 1 or 2 runs, period. And because, like you said, if you get the right pairs together consistently, well, you damn sure gonna hope to run more than 1 damn time. So if you've got him signed up, and I'm putting this out there for people who might be thinking of doing this, if you've got 2 pairs and you've got them signed up, so that gives you 2 runs. Well, if you go to the bay off, well, now you got 4 runs. And if they make the next round, well, now you done run 6 times. So you got to think. That's right.
Count your minutes. It adds up in a hurry.
Lord, yes, man. Little stuff like that, I wish I'd have really paid more attention to, but I was too busy. I was having a good time meeting people. I wasn't taking it serious.
Yeah.
And
that's something, you know, somebody told me at one point and kind of changed my outlook. Me and Justin Cobb were talking about it one time.
mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you noticed, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but like when baying's going on, like I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
Like I don't start cutting up until the baying's over with. Now
That's
afterwards, I'll get down with you. But
mm-hmm.
you know,
business?
If I expect the most out of my dog, if I expect him to go out there and do everything right and give me everything he's got, then I got to have my mind about me too.
Yep.
You know, because I don't want a mistake, a handler error to cost me the opportunity for the dog to win. And it's easy to do, man. It's real easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
real easy.
And you know, me and Kyle, he had told me that at one point, and I started thinking about it. I said, you know, you're onto something there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have nothing against having a good time. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm there to win, I'm there to win. I can only do one thing good at a time. I can get tore up good, or I can make my dogs good. I can't do both.
That's right.
You know,
that's exactly right. And I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that they can do it and be okay with it. But I'm more along the lines with you on that. If we're going to run dogs, then you will very seldom see me take a drink of anything.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't bring a bunch of dogs, or say if I just like, well, we'll take them and we might run one run, just, you know, to support it. Hey, I'm probably going to be knocking them back, but. And I'm gonna be over there riding. I'm gonna be riding around talking to everybody or walking around, whatever. And shooting shit and having a good time. Yeah,
and ain't not a thing wrong with that. Nah. You know, like I said, I know plenty of people that can do it. You know, both ways. Mm-hmm. And but I'm not one of them. You know, I drinking ain't never been a problem for me. You know, it ain't like that. But it's I like to have a good time. And if I'm having a good time, I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about them dogs. You know, and when you know, I see people do it. You know, they run their dog and then they go put him on a stake, might pour him out a little water, and then they don't see him again until he's got to run again. Well, man, we don't do it that way. Yep. You know, I like to make sure they cooled off good. They got a fan blowing on them. They're gonna be ready for the next run. And I'm going to put my eyes on them a time or two in between just to be sure that everything's on the up and up, you know? Yeah. And that's, I don't know, you know, it's, I didn't take it this seriously before. I didn't need to. I didn't have the dogs to do it. You know, it just wasn't the same. But, here lately kind of switched gears on it, you know, and there's a lot of people taking it seriously, man. Like you look at what Johnny and Donnie are doing.
Oh yeah.
You know, those guys they've got a strategy, they got a plan, and they're executing it. You know, Ricky's group, you know, they're always in it. I mean, they're
serious about it, man. It's
yes.
GW same way.
Yes, sir. Well, I include him in that group.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That section there, when
they're there to win.
When they come walking around with them dogs, get your ass out of the way.
Yeah.
Because they're ready to come in that gate. Yeah, they don't want to stop and shake your hand and talk to you. But now when that's done, when the baying's done, now they'll come out and they got all the time in the world for you.
That's right.
But when it's time to get busy, they're serious. And that's
right.
And if you'll take notice on what you just said, you just named all the top competitors.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's the ones that's being serious, you know. Now, there's a few more that we didn't name, but I mean, the ones that's being serious, they're the ones that's in that top 10 all the time.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
without
a doubt, you know.
Yeah. And that right there, you know, so I told you, you know, the camp that we've been a part of, it wasn't always like, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't trade them for nothing. I'm a part of a real good group there. Mm-hmm. You know, Josh and Joey, you can look a long way and not find any better.
That's right.
But, you know, it was funny, when we started, you know, I didn't have nothing that either one of them guys wanted to run with, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like that. But, Joey kind of got down for a little while. And so I started, and the way it happened, it really wasn't a question. There wasn't a question asked or an offer made. It was, hey, grab that pair of dogs right there and let's go to the gate, because I can't do it. And next thing you know, I handled dogs for 3 years,
Yeah.
at every show. And, it kind of, at times that it wasn't easy because I'm watching my two buddies here. They're winning on a fairly regular occurrence, and I'm just kind of, I'm leading dogs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I learned a lot of stuff like that. Might not have realized it at the time, but I was picking up on some stuff that they were doing, for when it comes to pairing, when it comes to how you run them, and, finally, one day, we had a young dog that did well, got second at Earl's and Old and Young. And then the very next show, he got absolutely ruined. Just the hog grabbed him by the leg, shook him around, and he didn't make a comeback. It shook him too deep.
Yeah.
And, the very next show, Joey gave me a dog that was, ready to run, like pro dog.
Yeah.
And Josh, them two didn't talk to each other about this, but Josh said, well, look, all right, there's you one. You need a second. So he had 4 or 5 young dogs all staked out right there. We were at a show. He just I just helped him run these dogs. And he said, the dogs, pick whichever one you want. He's yours.
Hell yeah.
And, so I picked me out. I told him, I said, Josh, you ain't got to do that, man. I said, why don't you pick the dog? Pick one you don't like. He said, no, I ain't doing that. So you pick the dog you want. And so I picked one out, and my wife ended up taking up that one. And you people like that are what makes this thing go round. Because I didn't have nothing, and I didn't have the money to pay them what them 2 dogs were worth.
Yeah.
But Joey said, well, hell, if you're gonna hang out with us and run with us, you got to have something that we want to run with. Otherwise, you ain't gonna want to keep doing it.
That's right.
And he was exactly right.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing that happened to us in a way. It was like, it was very unexpected, and it was like, hey, here's these dogs. And
yeah,
it's the very last thing you would ever thought of.
Yeah.
I was like, cause I've been running my woods dogs for several years. And like I said, I was donating money. Now, every now and then I hit a hole. Brother, but just enough.
Let me tell you something. I was running a dog that wouldn't even do it in the woods.
Oh, hell.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel you. Like, at least you can take care of yours home and do something cool, I just carry mine home and look at him. Like, he wasn't going to do it in the woods or
yeah. Damn it, but shit. But like you said, it's a labor of love, and that's why we still do it. This past year, we only went to a couple of bands, and like we were really busy, but at the same time, I was like, the dogs had started. There was a little quirk here and there, and I said, if I let them continue without being fully vested in it, I'm going to mess them up.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm going to set them up for a little while. So we did that. We went to the Abbeville Bay out there in Georgia. And we got second place on that one. There wasn't but 2 10s the whole show. And it was us and Tadpole, me and Nathan against Tadpole and Cody Odom. And and that one come down to the draw on that. Those hogs out there are not bay pen hogs. They have them. They catch them and they keep them for a certain amount of time, and then when the show's over with, they're gone.
That's right.
So he said, "Which one do you want?" He said, "You want first or second?" I said, "Hell, we'll go." I think we went first. I said, "Yeah, we'll go first." Well, I didn't know it, but Tadpole and them had went over and looked at the hogs that was in the chute, because we agreed. We was like, "We'll just take the first 2 that come out." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Y'all want to go first?" And I was like, "I don't care." He's like, "Y'all can go first." I said, "Okay." Well, we went over there and that sumbitch come out about 80 pounds. I said, "Oh my God." Cody Odom started laughing. He said, "You're fucked."
Yeah.
And we were, we did. We got hammered. We had a great time,
That's the only argument that can be made for luck.
Yeah.
And
like you said, and even at that rate though, we had a hog before that wasn't about that size, couldn't have been much bigger. And they had to bay that son of a bitch though.
Yeah.
So is
And
it,
that, I mean, it typically, everybody talks about their bad breaks, but they don't think about their good breaks. Man,
Yeah.
I've had way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this light system that Jake and Lynn and them put in has probably saved me from scratching runs that we're going to get through.
I know it
Because,
has mine.
because I watch them a little harder than
Mm-hmm.
I'd say average, because I know what they do wrong. I know what their typical mistakes are. When they go to make it, I'm ready to throw something. So, when they put the lights in, there's been times where I probably give myself away. I'm watching them bay, and then all of a sudden I turn and look at that box like, how did they not hit me?
Yep.
And if the judges were watching me, they'd probably dock me right at that moment. Thank God they're not watching me. But
Mm-hmm.
it's one of them deals. Like I said, luck. The draw definitely plays a factor. There's been times where if I'd have drawn a little better, maybe things would have went different. Maybe they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You
But
you
everybody
don't
has
ever
the
really
same
know.
chance to draw that hog that you do, though.
That's right. That's
So,
right. Because every one of them's going to run 4 times
Yep.
in a set. So guess what? Those 16 people are going to got to run, or 12, at least 12 people are going to have run that same hog.
That's
So
right.
if it was a good one, and guess what? Everybody, them 4 people got, or them 12 people got a good chance. If there's a rank one in there, well then guess what? Hate it for you, but you wasn't the only one.
That's right. And that's the thing about it. Like you said, more people count their, they're like, well, the judge hit me for this. But like you said, what about the times the judge didn't hit you?
Yeah, that's right.
Or the
They're not
judge might
counting
have
them.
said, well, I'm not really sure. And just they give it
Yeah.
to the dog. And
Yeah.
I've seen that. And I've been a judge at other places where I've done that. I'm like, man, it was so close, but I wasn't 100%. So I give it to the dog,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
don't bitch and complain about every little thing. Cause I mean, it goes
Right.
both ways, and you will get a lot of stuff give to you. I believe more than taken from you.
Yeah, that's right. And one thing, these judges, it's a thankless job, man. Like these guys, they sit up all day, all night in the elements. That they watch hundreds of runs,
I don't know how they do it.
and everybody's mad with it. Somebody's going to be mad with them before the day's over.
Yes.
It's a fact. It's not a maybe. It's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find people that one know something about it and that don't have a family member running in it.
Yep.
And that would even be interested in coming and sitting in that spot. Because whatever they're getting paid, it ain't enough. I don't know what they get paid, but I promise you it ain't enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so, these guys, they're under pressure because there is a lot of money on the line, and, they're not going to get it right every time. But my biggest thing, like if I see a call that's questionable and I go ask, I usually go to Jake or whoever's running the show, because I don't think that it's my place to go up there and start barking at a judge.
Yep.
I would rather. I think it all goes much more smoothly if the man running the operation is the one that makes that approach.
Mm-hmm.
And if both of them judges come back and they say the same thing, I have nothing else to say.
Yep.
If they saw the same thing, their story is the exact same. Hey, that's what it was. Then don't matter if I agree with it or not. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving on to the next one.
That's exactly right.
Arguing balls and strikes, it don't get you nowhere.
Well, the thing about that is a lot of people that are going to sit and argue that they never played ball. They never played ball that much, because or they're some of that group that got a participation trophy, because it's based on the movements and the science of whatever you're doing, whether it's playing football, baseball, basketball, or hog baying.
Yeah.
It's based on a set of skills that are judged on a score system, and it's entrusted into these individuals just like a referee. I mean, there's bad calls in every sport, according to us, but we're not damn referees, or we're not judges. So all the people that bitch and complain, well, maybe they ought to sign up and say, hey, I want to start judging.
Try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it every now and then.
That's right.
Let's rotate some people in and out, and see, you have a better appreciation for it. That's for sure.
Ain't no doubt about that. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm not jealous of them. I'll say that.
No.
You know, because everybody is sitting and thinking that today's their day, tonight's their night. You know, stars are going to line up. You know, we're fixing to do it. And then when that one call comes, and I get it, man. I absolutely get it. But you know, if you're a real competitor, if you're, and when I say a real competitor, you got the mindset of, you know, you want the best outcome. You like if I beat you, I want your dogs to be at their very best when I do it.
Yes.
You know, I want everything to be as even as it can possibly be. And, you know, and I'm not going to throw a fit if it don't happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you can't, I know people are, you know, they mistake passionate for competitive. You know, there is a difference, and you can be both. But, you know, you see these guys that as soon as something goes wrong, they want to throw a fit and throw their hat and holler and this, that, and the other. Like, man, there's a better way, you know.
There's no doubt. You have to learn. First, you have to be humble. You got to know how to lose before you can be a true winner, I think, you know. So,
buddy, I've had some practice in that regard.
Shit, you ain't even lying, man. You ain't lying. So, well, Connor, we've about tapped out on this one, brother. We already had a good length of time before you got jumped on with us. I think we're at 3 hours on this one now. So,
Yeah,
no, I'm glad you called in. We're gonna wrap this one up here in a minute.
yes, sir.
And like I said, please don't think I'm trying to cut you off at no time. But
No, not at all, man.
I would like to have maybe get with Joey Barkley. And I don't know if Joey will call in on the phone, but we might have to slip in on him and set up. I'd love to get him on here, me and you and him and Nate, and hell, get Josh. Josh don't say a whole lot, but I'd love to have him on.
I don't know if you can get Josh, and Joey is going to be like, you know, like Steve told me, it's going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
But
he told me he would do it before, but he said, you better get the beat button ready.
Yeah. Well, then we'll ambush him. How about that?
That sounds good to me. By God, we'll do that shit then.
If y'all can make it in January, we'll ambush him, but maybe we can even get Josh in on it. You never know.
If Josh would just say hi, I feel accomplished then. You know what I mean?
That's right. Well,
he's such a good guy.
He really is, man.
He just don't say much. You know, he'll talk to you. You know what I mean? But he's not one of them that's gonna get on here. I just don't think.
No, and Josh ain't gonna brag on his dogs.
Lord, no.
He's got as good of a set as anybody's got.
You're damn right.
And you ain't gonna get him to talk good about them.
No,
you know, he's very humble.
Mm-hmm. He's a good dude. You're at a damn good camp right there. I can tell you that.
Yes, sir. There ain't no doubt. I might be bringing us down a little bit, but I'm proud to be there.
Well, Connor, man, we appreciate you being on here. Congratulations on all the stuff that y'all done lately. With you and Buddy Rowe and the wife and Chubby. I mean, you got a solid system going there and it's working.
Well, I sure appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me on.
Shit, man. Look, anytime, and not just on here, but you got my number now. If you need me, holler.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
All right, Connor. We'll see you, brother.
All right, brother.
See you, man.
Thanks, Connor.
All right, y'all. That was all right there. That's the first. Now that's the same guy I will say. I called his name 10 times on another episode one night, and I was like, "What am I doing?" He was on my mind, you know. Yeah. I've met him several times, talked to him over the years. Good guy. And that Buddy Rowe dog, I love that dog. He looks like he almost looks like some of the squirrel dog stock that I used to. Remember that blue boy dog I had? I got from Johnny and Vicky, the one I sent to South Georgia. Yeah, was the first Kimmer dog I had. That's what he looks like. But anyway, we got to talk a little bit with Michael Smith. Got to talk with Uncle Lou in a little bit, and we've been talking shit for about 3 hours now, and I'm about shit out. So I'm fixing to get my fat ass loaded up. Nathan's going to drive us toward the hacienda. And we're going to get up and do it all over again tomorrow. And until the next time, I know I don't really sound enthused, but well, I guess we'll see y'all.
Yes.
One more time. See ya.
Thank you. Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned for our new episodes every Monday and Wednesday. For questions, advertising, or just to chat, email DixieDoggers01@gmail.com.